Hello everybody, I'm just about ready to get started. Welcome, Try. Love the PSO content lately. Love watching people have fun together in a common game. Well, we'll see if more people come in today for that. I'm not expecting too many people, as it is an off-streaming day. Let's go and go to the Let's Chat. Hello, Vayorn. Hope you're doing well. I see we have a new follower. So I see, it looks like IBM the recent follower. I saw the notification, but it's in Japanese.
You're wide open!
That apparently has the translation for it, so thank you for following. Hello, the Horror Geek. Hope you're doing well. I have to say you've been tempted to test out PSO. I mean, that's up to you, Try. I mean, it's simple enough. I think you would like some of it, but I feel like other parts of it would frustrate you. I feel like the difficulty will not be as intense as something in Monster Hunter or as punishing with healing. So it'll be like a more casual version of it, if I had to give you a comparison. A little rough around the edges at points. So let's talk about what the plan is for today. Well, depending on who's around, I mean, I'm willing to do some co-op stuff. So if people are, I don't know, looking to get into Ultimate, or they're in Ultimate and they want to do some runs. I mean, it is kind of old by now, so yeah, fortunately Ephenia's been doing some quality of life changes. So a lot of the things that would stop me from going back to it have been fixed. I think the most infamous example would be damage canceling. It's mostly removed. It still happens every now and then, but it is nowhere near the extent it was in the previous versions. And then there's some other quality of life changes, like you get XP without needing to tag enemies, so it's more consistent leveling in multiplayer. People get to have their own item drops. All those things were not really there prior to Ephinea. And like those alone would just be like, yeah, I'm not going back to the console version even if given a chance or choice. Like, no thanks. Sorry, I just like the changes more. Like that when a company actually still upholds a game and tries to update it after 10 years. If by company you mean private server, sure, Try. It's not quite a company, but I think I know what you're talking about. Oh, you're giving a shout out to Granite Knight? Well, welcome, Granite Knight. I don't think Granite Knight streams. If they do, it would be news to me. I see they have movie trivia. Oh, yeah, no way. Sega gave up. They went to, like, NGS or whatever they call it now. Who knows? Listen, chat, I lost interest till around the time it became an isekai. I'll put it that way. Since then, who knows? It could be doing anything right now. I don't really care. So let's jump into the game. You know what? I'm listening to the soundtrack and I'm like, I really actually genuinely don't remember when this song plays. What is this song? Rose Confession. I'll be real with you, chat. I don't think I've played the game where that plays normally. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump into the game. Actually, I gotta boot up Ephinea one more time. So as I said before, whoever is willing to do things, just give a shout out and I'll move from single player stuff over to multiplayer. More than happy to play with whoever's here. That is the point of the Valentine's event, but there's always gonna be limitations. I'm gonna OSTs. I really enjoyed the Metroid Prime Metal OST I found earlier today. I got a level if you don't mind. I'm at 55. Okay. Let me think. Who do I want to bring in for that? Probably Mr. Freeze. I mean, I could level Waluigi, but let's stick with a slightly stronger candidate. The short Vayorn, I can help you get there. Oh no, I saw it try. I don't usually respond to every link in the Discord, but I did see that actually. Character names are awesome. Some of them are chosen by chance. Mr. Freeze, I think I was jealous of somebody calling that because I had a blue hair character, and I'm like, you know what? So sure, Vayorn, if you want, I could do some stuff to level you. Although, as I said before, preference would be to get rares. I'm just thinking if... Let me check something real quick. So very hard mode on Blue ID is actually pretty good for leveling people. And I'll tell you why. On very hard mode, you get access to things like photon crystals from Babudas. For some reason, question mark, a rather common enemy. Heavenly Arms, Ignition Cloak, Congeal Cloak, the Jaya Blade, Heaven Striker Coat, Dragon Scale. I could do a couple runs with you for sure. I mean, at least I could take advantage of the rare bonus and then maybe pay off to level you. I'm gonna make a game for Vayorn. I think I see them in the lobby next to me. We'll call this Ziggy Episode 4. Password, as always, is king. What difficulties are available? Easy, normal, hard. It goes to normal, hard, very hard, and ultimate, but there's also an anguish. So if you kind of like the Diablo 3 kind of style things try, or you just want to crank it to impossible, it's there for you if you want to do that. The game should be up. Yeah, there we go. Looking to see if I got anything of interest here. So, I was thinking about what the best method would be. I could level you a couple times and then do, like, maybe one Beyond the Horizon, and we'll see how it goes from there. Torment 60 nowadays is laugh. I haven't touched that game in a long time. Not since basically all the controversy with Blizzard. I haven't touched it. I've been pretty good about it. My brain is processing what I need to bring with me. Sorry about it. It'll process eventually. Gafoi for sure. I will bring backups just in case I forget something. I think that's good. Although, you know what? We're playing episode 4. Let me get one thing I should definitely be wearing. Give me a Cure Freeze. I don't know if I need all this defense for very hard. Do something like this. Oh, they had the elemental staffs on already. That was a mistake. But you know what? We're gonna live with that mistake. The only thing I need to make sure is, do I have my fluids? I do. Good. So let's see. So when leveling new players, there's a couple of interesting options to consider. The most common one is probably for stage B. E is pretty good for bosses if the person can survive. I'm looking at Vaylorn's health and I'm thinking, not enough health. Even though they're a cast, it's not quite enough. If they double down on heavenly HPs, then I'd actually prefer this quest over B, but I think we'll go for a couple B runs here. It said Diablo 4. Do you mean Immortal? I don't. Is D4 even out? I mean, I don't blame you for not doing Immortal for sure. Oh, okay, yeah. I was gonna say I didn't think it. I didn't think it was out yet. Okay, in April. Okay, that checks out for me then. Anyway, look at this damage. I kill in 2 Gafoes. Like, this is the power of Faux Newman, chat. If you ever question how ridiculous this character is, literal 2-shot. Wow. Chat, big wow. Look at the damage. Okay. So the only thing I can't kill are Babudas. That makes sense. They're my mortal nemesis anyway. Hate them. Oh yeah, no way. Oh, hold on. We're gonna go back to that power material. Listen, chat. I know it's not optimal to do so, but I want that power material. The arm's actually doing some pretty decent damage. So, I guess that's the benefit of having, presumably, a Hue cast. Oh. Oh, the damage, though. Why? What a broken character, chat. Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about, Try. They even did a video on it. Exactly. I know what you're talking about. I've seen people make fun of that particular video. I love the justification in that video is like, it's not pay to win because everybody... Uh-oh, Bayon dropped. Oh no, what happened? I'll restart. I'll just slash lobby real quick. But I love the justification that it's not pay to win, is that everybody I'm fighting currently is also paying to win, and I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, wait. I don't think that does what you think it does for your argument. I remade it, Bayorn. It's like, why yes, you can hit a point where there's only people that have paid to win. It's almost like that's what happens with pay to win. Who would have thought, chat? So I'm gonna put away the stab since I have another opportunity to go back. I would like to free up my inventory for 3 spaces. It's not because it's like the end of the world, but this will mess up my menuing at some point, and that's gonna drive me completely wild. Don't fix it now. There we go. It also lets me pick up more armor to get the cost offset for trifluids. Not that it's like super mandatory, but it'd be nice. So anyway, we're gonna do the same thing again. But yeah, now that I have the full power unlocked for this character, like I have Gafoi Merge plus Magical Piece and Ignition Cloak. I cannot get more fire damage stack if I want to. Arguably, this is a little overkill. If I can kill them in, like, without one of those, it'd be better for me to have, like, Rabarda or something. And that's why we'll switch out our Merge at some point. And or our Stabs. Anyway. While we're waiting for the next wave, I'll cast Shifta. I'll cast Evan. Yeah, so everything here, everything that is not Babuda dies to me instantly. So just take that, Buddha. Deal with it. Live and learn. That's a pretty good music disc. Yeah, this enemy right here, chat. Problem enemy. Take that music disc gladly. Whole bunch of nothing drop. I'm not gonna go back for it. Yeah, it's kind of sad, really. I mean, I think a lot of... I guess we could talk about this because we could broaden the subject a bit more, but from the standpoint of, like, nostalgia, I mean, the companies that you and I grew up with, Try, basically think about how many times they have kicked out and cycled out game designers, creative leads, art directors, composers. Congrats on the Photon Crystal and the level up. And just think about it, like, and how bad things have gotten lately for companies that have had prestige, and how much they're willing to shill for things like your NFTs and things like that. Let alone the microtransactions and whatever they call that particular cycle of game. Brain is blanking while playing PSO. I'll think about it in a moment. Live service. I did think about it. Where I'm just not interested in those styles of games at all, for sure. I mean, I'm happy that this game gets updates, but I never wanted to take on what the, like, late 2010s started getting into, and even, like, 2020s to an extent. Kind of poisoned the well with, like, the PS3 era of stuff onwards. Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is also just, like, big company consumes little company, and then just no quality control, because they have a monopoly on the market. See Madden titles, in particular, where they're the only people allowed to do Madden games. Literally, contractually, they're the only company allowed. So it just shows, like, how bad it is when you don't have competition, or you're allowed to buy the competition. The quality of the games and everything else just slips into nothingness. Yeah, and it's not to say, like, past games didn't have issues. They just had a different set of issues. And I feel like that arcade mentality, where they just eat all your quarters, they just upgraded to eating your dollars. You know, they upgraded with the times. How did that not kill, by the way? Yeah, like here's the thing that was not really a thing as of like the past 10 or 15 years, where we just accept it as a normal. Day one patches. Do you know how common that is and how uncommon that was even just like 15 years ago? I mean, there's the expectation of having things online, and it's somewhat more convenient. But look what they're allowed to ship and what people will pay for. I'm sure I don't need to detail the many hundreds of examples of, even from first-party developers, having hilariously terrible animations or bugs or things like that. Yeah, what are you, the devil? Exactly. They're happy they can even get the game on PSN. they're like, listen, they weren't thinking about some of that back then. Yeah, now it's just like, I think we talked about this on another stream before, but my favorite example, we were trying to figure out which Tony Hawk game it was, and of course I've forgotten. But like an example where there's like the on-disc DLC, or you have like your absolute nonsense of the whole game is a patch. I think it was Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4. We had someone look it up, and I was like, it was gonna bother me all stream. But yeah, it's like there's just all those infamous ones where the game is literally just the first level. And they pushed it out for, I think, licensing reasons. I think that's why it came out like that. Just so that they could keep the copy or retain it briefly for the game publishing, even though it was not ready. Oh my gosh, Cyberpunk. Oh my gosh. See, that's what I'm talking about. There's companies that even 5 years ago are held in such high regard and high esteem, and they just, they just throw it all away. Some of it's ambition, some of it is just like shoddy practices. I mean, Cyberpunk, people can talk about it whether or not that'll be a success story down the line. I did like the anime, but separate story. I mean, like, you think about like what that game released with, and honestly, even to this day, still doesn't have. Like, when I think of like an open world shooter kind of thing, or not even shooter, just like an open world game, in particular a modern one, you think back to like the genre defining examples from like the PS2, PS3 era, like Grand Theft Auto. If your game can't be at least on par with the Grand Theft Auto, like it's like you gotta get there somehow, right? Like if you're looking to make another Skyrim or a GTA, depending on genre of game, there's just a lot of expected features your game is supposed to have, and to see just like really basic ones, like cops don't really chase you, they just kind of teleport in on you. There's not really like car chases. I don't know if they've since patched it, but for the longest period of time it was like that. The game was unplayable on launch. They basically silenced all journalists so they couldn't give certain kinds of reviews. So it's not just like one thing in particular when it comes to the modern companies. You can't just say like, oh, they didn't have enough time. No, it's very much purposeful. Thank you, TheCalvitium. Game should work at launch, that's what I think. Maybe. I mean, like, if we want to go with an example more relevant to the stream, ESO2's launcher was one of the worst I have ever seen in a video game. I have never struggled harder to get a game to launch. They should be embarrassed. I'm never gonna forget how terrible that launcher was. Like, it's bad when there are literal, like, not even dozens, hundreds of videos and or written articles talking about how to get a different launcher with the game because the basic one just didn't work. And in fact, I didn't even get in like the first 6 months. I came in like 8 months late, and it still wasn't working. Like, how do you get that far into the life cycle and still not have a launcher? Like, that honestly boggled my mind. I'm like, what were they thinking? They hooked it into some like Windows Live ID or something. It's trash try. It was the biggest piece of garbage I've ever seen. If someone didn't walk me through how to go through the other one, I literally would never have played the game. I don't blame people for giving up. Like, that by itself is why I would never recommend PSO2. I don't want anybody to go through what I went through. Because, you know, you just expect the game to work. You know, it's not exactly like top of the line, like 4K resolution here. Like, I didn't make it past the first menu. That's kind of bad. Try again, please. To be fair, my favorite games have not any issues with them. I'm like, can I even count Final Fantasy 14 try? I mean, wasn't it 12 was the beta for 14 essentially? What was it, the Realm Reborn? So they had a pretty big misstep within the own online series of games. I feel very hesitant about that one. It's pretty bad when your company publicly apologizes for the game and offers refunds. Yeah, that's why I'm like, I'm like, I remember that. that was something. Oh, you joined after that? Yeah, that's fine. I was just kind of laughing though. So welcome, TheCalvitium. If you want to do stuff, TheCalvitium, I think we can do stuff. I want to stick mostly to Ultimate, but because Bayorn was here, they got first come, first serve on the quest choice. It's kind of an unfortunate enemy. You can excuse that because you joined after. Yeah, it's fine. I just want to point it out. I just find that kind of funny. Yeah, like, games are not immediately gonna necessarily pair up to something like the equivalency you're putting there as well. Like, it takes a while. WoW didn't happen in, like, one day, right? Like, they've had many decades of patches, arguably for the detriment of the game, but, you know, that's a separate conversation for people that play that game. But from the standpoint of everything else, I'm just killing stuff with Excalibur, so anything is okay. You got Photon Blast? I don't know if we really need it. If you want to burn it randomly, I'll say go ahead. I'm never going to build it. I have enough to donate, that's about it. I've gotten to 30. I mean, sure, TheCalvitium. I mean, there's legitimate items you could get in the very hard mode run. We were talking about that earlier. This is probably like one of the hard recommend quests I want to bring people's attention to. I've been shown the way by, I think HellCleave mentioned this ID, and I'm like, oh right, I forgot about this. That is one of the things I did with the Funeral a very long time ago. Oop, don't die. Yeah, like, exactly. MMO has its own rules, but I just feel like pointing it out. I'm not trying to make a blanket statement for some of those things. But yeah, it just feels really sad when you go back to games that were, you know, very experimental and had like a lot of content in them necessarily, but weren't the most polished, versus like what you see today. Like, I'll give an example where I felt very disappointed in kind of like the open world genre. Sleeping Dogs compared to True Crime Streets of LA. True Crime Streets of LA came out on the PS2. They're technically the same series. Originally Sleeping Dogs was going to be True Crime. But the amount of content and features removed in Sleeping Dogs made me so sad compared to the True Crime one. So let's give a couple examples. There was a more interesting targeting system in True Crime. It let you shoot the guns out of people's hands. It let you, like, wound people. It would destroy cars. It would do all sorts of things. You could arrest people. So it's very funny handcuffing people for no reason. So how dare they take that away from the game where you're a cop? How dare they, chat? And in general, there wasn't really, like, a morality system like there was either in the True Crime versus Sleeping Dogs. Because you could purposely do bad things. Like, you could purposely do, like, PIT maneuvers, excuse me, against random pedestrians, and then they would get mad at you. And that, to me, was, like, one of the funniest things. So I'm like, the replayability of like Sleeping Dogs was 0 for me, and I was like, I'm just gonna go play True Crime from several years ago. I'm like, it's not even like the most polished thing ever, but it just had so much more to it. It's kind of like that for even your games like Saints Row, where, you know, sometimes they did stuff that was experimental, but a lot of it just felt very generic, and I feel kind of lost the point of the series. Like, in broadening the base, they got rid of, like, things I would have considered more important to the series in the process. Definitely you see those shifts in writing, too, which is kind of a problem. It is what it is. Did that zoo literally laser me, even though the Gapoe was there? That was so rude. He did it again. He did it again just to prove a point, chat. What a god. You know what? I'm not even gonna be mad at that. You showed me up, Zoo. I had like 3 Gapoes there. You went from like 1200 health to like 300 and you still got me. What a pro. Speaking of pro, I need to fireball you, but you're like out of range. Thank you. I'm gonna go ahead and delete that enemy real quick. Oh, Gapoe, come on. Did it not reach? This is where I gotta use Rapoe, I think. Gapoe just too slow. See, chat, we're learning. Even playing things I played before. We're gonna go for the stun lock here. I'm not gonna mess around. No thanks. Stun lock successful. Yeah, that last wave, I think the zoos are just too far apart for me to hit. I could go with a safer Fire Scepter in that room. I don't think I need the extra 10% damage. As I said before, like, I don't think I get another threshold. Like, yes, it technically does less damage, but if I kill in the same number of fireballs, who cares? I'd rather get the utility. Let's check. 1, 2. Yeah, I go from 700 to 740. Fire Scepter's the right choice here, because I can Rapoe off of this. Yeah, definitely the right choice there. I save me time on that wave. Here's where it might not save time. No, it'll still be the same. Even if I did 60 more damage a hit. Doesn't matter. Oops. I got confused where the zoo was. There we go. Let's start casting some fireballs. I think it's... I was gonna say more Marissa's. I should not use Razan with this wand, but I've committed. We're gonna live with that mistake. Like, once you're in the loop, you just gotta keep going. Let's clear out the Marissas. We still die basically instantly. Yeah, TheCalvitium, if you want to hop in just to unlock weapons, we could do that. We'll do Beyond the Horizon after this. Just want to make sure Vayorn had a little more overall health. I did not mean to try fluid there. That was a big mistake. Speaking of which, why did my Soul Atomizer get cancelled there? Is there like something wrong with my controller? I didn't hit cancel there. They're very distinct buttons. Check my settings later. Oh, I'm gonna go enjoy the pool. I need Pure Shock. I think that's what I'm gonna do in very hard mode. Just get rid of these. Oh, you pulled the Rappies. Okay, let me just kill them then. That right there is why I want Pure Shock. That is so annoying. I Cure Freeze for the Marissa, but I don't think they're ever gonna hit me on very hard. I mean, maybe. Like, right here they might. Maybe. Yeah, but see, that wasn't the freeze shot, so it didn't matter. Anyway, back to Stunlock. Easy. One enemy just slowly coming towards us. How about you perish real quick? Should kill basically all of them. Oh! The wand was too slow. Unfortunate. I just like Rafoi, I think, a bit more in this room. I think the right call next time I do this room, leveling people, is just to unequip the speed. We're gonna stick to the speed for the rest of the room. Huh, I'm surprised I got hit there. Uh-oh. The arm was typing. Rip. Huh? Wait, I revived them, but they're still dead? What? Did the server disconnect? Oh, you disconnected again? That's unfortunate. Okay. Let's not die here. There we go. Well, I'm definitely gonna finish the quest. I'm on the final room. Yeah, sorry to hear that, Theorn, though. That will make leveling you kind of difficult. Okay. But hey, we've got a few levels in at least. Speaking of which... pick up another armor. Anyway, we were talking about expectations and things of that nature. I just feel like there's just been a ton of really predatory and scammy things done by those major companies. PSO2 was not immune to that by any means. I felt like the full 2010s really manipulative way of keeping people into the game. And honestly, that was also the second biggest turnoff of the game. I can in good conscience recommend the game to people when it does stuff like that. Let's sell these items. Restock our fluids. There's a company you would still pre-order from? Oh no. Right? I'm like, listen. The only thing I have to say to you, Watch Dogs. Watch Dogs was the game I will never forget, where I gave up all faith in pre-orders. So thank you, Watch Dogs. You taught me a valuable lesson. TheCalvitium, it only takes one time for them to have a problem. And then it becomes a pattern. See Cyberpunk. Oh boy. I'm gonna leave it up to you, Calvitium. Did you want to do very hard to assist with leveling a player? Did you want to do some PF? I'm on the fence. I'll make an episode 4 while you decide. My preference, since the event is up, would be to do TTF and things of that nature. But we're lacking a third person for TTF. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's swap out our freeze. I mean, I'll keep the freeze on this character, but I think it's as high priority as Cure Shock is. That was just way too annoying for me. Okay. Hop on in, Calvitium. I warn you, I don't know how many kills you're gonna get. just to warn you preemptively. Darn, I need to start doing more Cure Shock things with the gimbals. Sort our items out a little better. Just wanted to make sure I restocked the bottom set. Okay, I did. Yeah. I mean, I'm still going for a rare run, technically, right now. If I get another Ignition Cloak, that would make me happy. Or Heavenly Arms. Need to change a quest anyway? Nice. Not even my hair puts me taller than Calvitium. It's too tall. Wow, Calvitium, you're 150 already? You must have been grinding. I was gonna say, at some point, Calvitium, I'm just gonna hold on to your weapon, and then in an hour I'll fix it. But I guess if you want to be stubborn to do it, it's fine. Red ring runs. Oof. Yeah, I need a couple more. Not a whole bunch more, but I need one for the Rocket Seal. Romarl, it's nice, but I have an alternative. I almost did Halloween Cookie Quest. That would have been so sad on Very Hard. We'll do the same quest again. Yeah, there are actually like a handful of runs you could do on Very Hard now that you have an ultimate level character. I want to bring highlights to those the next time I do a video on quests. We're kind of going back and forth in the Discord a little bit what the format should be. I think ultimately my statement is, if we're talking about number of quests that you could do in this game that I would recommend, the answer would be less than 10, honestly. Unless you're going for a specific rare and ultimate, then that's kind of like the exception to the rule. Just because everything is so tailored to ultimate that there's like no reason to do any of the other runs for the most part. Like, there are a couple of exceptions, those being mostly box runs, where just all you care is about the box count and not XP. But like, we're really stretching for that to be useful, and that's pretty much force only prior to ultimate. It's not worth. The fire staff is actually damaging enough to kill in the same number of fireballs. Interesting. So we'll figure some things out. I was thinking it'd be better to introduce players to like more generally useful quests that would be like cross difficulty. So like when there was a recommendation to do like general quests, I think that for me would mean more things like shop quests. I don't think new players would really know how good the shop quests are in this game or why you would do some of them. So I feel like talking about them is actually kind of important. I know Calvitium has done runs, for example, prior to Ultimate, that he has probably found useful at some point, or will find in the immediate future. But the monster part quests, so that way you can craft your own, like, assassin daggers and things of that nature. Those are actually pretty good to work your way up to. Like, there's just certain ones you should do. Not that you should spam it, but it'll help in the long run. Calvitium's like, I'm gonna get a kill, grr. There you go, you killed the Sand Rappy. Show that Rappy what up. Bye, Sand Rappy. You know what's really sad though, chat? Just to give you an idea of how dumb this episode is, as a reminder, especially for people that don't normally pay attention to that stuff in the corner. We're getting more XP on Very Hard Episode 4 than I did while playing Ultimate Episode 2, Seabed. I want you to think about that, how bad Episode 2 is. So just let it sink in its terribleness. Nice, Photon Crystal. So you got the rare drop that we're looking for. So technically mission accomplished. Somebody's gotten a photon crystal every run. Congrats on hitting level 60, Vayorn. Okay, now that I have the fire staff over the magical piece, I could do this. Is that different from photon drop? Oh, see, TheCalvitium doesn't know. Oh no. Or I think it was TheCalvitium, I just saw the name briefly. But from the standpoint of usefulness, photon crystals are very different from photon drops. So let's talk about briefly the differences between photon drops and photon crystals. We'll go into more detail in another video, but since we're here, we'll talk about it. So the reason people want photon drops, ultimately, is not necessarily for the items you could spend 50, get a part, upgrade a weapon or armor. Usually that's not why they want it. What they want it for is something called sphering. So if you get 99 of them, it will let you permanently add 30% to an attribute, up to I think of a cap of 100% to a weapon. So it's just a way of hitting the true end game, is you just need millions and millions and millions and millions of photon drops. However, photon crystals are a little different. So photon crystals are used to add hit percentage to enemy weapons. So let's say you got something called the Baran's Arm from Baran's, which is a 4-shot shotgun kind of weapon that is also charged and is pretty good. Being able to take those monster part weapons and guarantee some hit percentage does fix some of the problems that PSO has. Unfortunately, it's still a little bit of a gamble. We'll talk about that in another quest or another video. However, it also has another purpose. So there are quests that accept that as currency in order to run them. So probably the most famous quests when it comes to those kinds of things are Black Paper Deals 1 and 2. All of those can be used, even in normal mode, to give you ludicrous items. Like, actually bonkers ludicrous, TheCalvitium. You are mostly geared. I don't think this would apply to you specifically, but for a lot of other players, some of their best items are in those quests. Like, you know how I talk about Last Swan, like, over and over and over, TheCalvitium? That's where I got it. And you can get it on normal TheCalvitium. I can get one of the best guns in the game for any female character in normal with that photon crystal. Like, it is bonkers broken. So getting one of those is kind of nice. People will trade them about on par with photon drops for the most part, because you can get those potentially extremely good rares. For you, the only thing that might be vaguely interesting, although you have a better version already, is if you didn't have your minigun and you were playing through normally, what would happen is that on as early as normal, reminder, as early as normal, you could get a gun that shoots 3 bullets every time you fire it. Obviously not as good as the one that shoots 5 bullets, but it also has like a base attack power of I think like 300 something, Master Raven, which is hilariously high. It's one of the highest damage handguns that you could get as a hunter. And the fact that it shoots 3 times in rapid succession makes it a really good kind of holdover boss weapon until you could get like an LNK or like a high enough combination of stats for things like Charge and Berserk to be useful. Like, the other weapon just works with like no other stats needed. Decent accuracy, you just normal attack and it basically annihilates them. Doesn't lock you in place. So it could be used, for example, on the spinners, where the minigun you wouldn't even necessarily use it on the spinners. And it's also useful for hitting falls, because falls loves to move around a lot. So just saying, like, there are a lot of choices. And that's not the only thing you can get there, by the way, TheCalvitium. There's, like, whole charts of it. But it includes things like one of the better armors in the game for cast, one of the better shields for cast. It could give you Centurion ability, the best ability unit in the game. It could give you... I forget if it could give you Heavily Arm. I know it could give you God Power on normal and God Arm. But it could give you so many things, and all you have to do is complete the quest. Unfortunately, you can't get assistance in those quests. That's why you don't see people run them, TheCalvitium, in multiplayer. But it's like the single-player dream quest. And I want to talk about that in far more detail in another video. Like, we're going to open the charts level of detail just to explain, like, how amazingly unfair that quest is. That you could get stuff better than you could even possibly get in Ultimate, but on normal. So it's like literal brain dead, like, gathering. So if you're even just like level 50, level 60 on very hard, you could probably get the normal rare instantly with no effort. And the thing too with those quests, Calvitium, is if you were just looking to level, Black Paper deals 2 guarantees rare enemies. Nice bazooka. So it's also like really good for XP, because you've seen how much more rare enemies give in terms of XP. It's like sometimes like 5 to 10 times more, like insane amounts. So like, what if you could just fight in one quest, Calvitium, like 4 Del Rappies, 3 Marissas, a Pazuzu. It just all of that XP just hits you. It's just GG. So people will use that for leveling, and while leveling, it gives them the best items in the game. Because, you know, fair. Episode 4, why choose? Also, again, episode 2, why do people play it? Outside of Perfect World. I don't understand, chat. It's very hard only. What do you mean? The Black Paper Deals quest? No, you can play it on any difficulty. That's why I'm saying you could do it on normal. Nice level up. Avisham hit 151 in this quest. I mean, this shows how stupid episode 4 is. He leveled here. Like, how is that fair? Calvisham's like, why? I'm a difficulty down. I still leveled. What happened? Why is this a thing? Alas, we are here. So anyway, enjoy the level up, Calvitium. Rare from Ultimate on... No, all... It's a set quest. It will always guarantee those rare enemies. So if you were level 1, you could do that quest to level faster. I was thinking about before when we were power leveling a force, if I even wanted to do that, just to guarantee a faster level up. But Beyond the Horizon was more bonkers, unfortunately. It was too bonkers, chat. I couldn't give it up. By Grand Detonator. Oh, they're too far away. Okay, let Calvitium take care of that. I used to your raw cast then. Yeah, what I would say though, Calvitium, is think about it. If you take a look at some of the weapons you could create from enemy parts, and decide if it's worth it for you. It only takes like 3 or so to give a weapon 20%. You have a 100% chance, then an 80% chance, respectively. So it can be useful for things like Baran's Launcher, which I just mentioned before, which is very good for Rangers. But yeah, you'll end up doing that quest in some form or another. And again, like, it could end up giving you Master Raven on normal or some nonsense. So yeah, always check the charts. You'd be very surprised what it could give you. Yeah, that's one of the few times while we're playing I'm gonna whip out the charts. Yeah, I just want to make sure, like, because most players would never know about it, and particularly if we play multiplayer. And, like, it's one of the most crucial tools, especially if you're able to do episode 4, at just leveling your character out of control. Because you'll naturally acquire photon crystals by just doing episode 4. Like, we got them even now in very hard mode. I mean, partially due to rare up, but still. Point is still the same. I'm actually gonna level with this character pretty soon, because, you know, episode 4. So I get to be stronger for future leveling. I need to get 70 more MST. So probably around the time I hit Calvitium's level, I'll be quote-unquote done with this character, because I don't need his stats for anything else. I thought about kill stealing Calvitium. I thought about it. I saw the Grand health detonator's health, and I'm like, do I? Max trolling. Yeah, I'm gonna stun lock them. It's on you to take the kill from me there. I'm not giving up the stun lock. That laser was so rude. About that. There we go. We're abusing Rafoi. Oh, oops, that's not the fire button. Okay. Thank you, Vayorn, for sticking around. I guess TheCalvitium and I will decide what to do next. I think everybody else is streaming and or playing. But they hop into the stream. I'm sure if there's anybody looking to do ultimate runs, they'll say something at some point. But oh yeah. We got many things to teach you, TheCalvitium, through these tutorial videos. So my focus won't be ultimate on the first set, as I said before. I think there's just too many quests. Like, people want to generalize it, like these are the top 5 quests. But like, that's like the same top 5 quests for like every other difficulty. That list is literally never gonna change. So I'd rather get like the basics down and then go for like more detailed run explanations. Like, I would never casually do tower, for example, on like hard mode. Like, there's no oh, sorry, power material. I didn't notice you until later. I saw the other material. Yeah. It's kind of unfortunate when that happens. So the downside to TTF is you can do it without a force, but it requires a basically high-level party, which I don't super have at the moment. My rocket seal's decent. Oh yeah, speaking of which, I think this happened off stream. I fixed her. Need a lot of freeze for tower. I mean, that, like, even then, TheCalvitium, it's terrible. I'm not playing tower. I don't even want to show it off on stream ever again. Hate tower. What a waste of time. That's like something you play not to have fun, but because the game requires you to do it for an item. Like, I would never just go like, let's just have fun in tower, or words I'm not gonna say, ever. Yeah, I just... So, I find my... I'll put the disclaimer in the quest video when we get to it that I'm just never gonna recommend tower, because I hate it. I will give a small shout out to governor quests for people with unstable internet. You're jumping out of every sky. But I mean, like, that's the thing. Like, that's where I'm worried, where people are gonna think I'm gonna cover, like, every, like, super rare niche item. And I'm like, I kinda don't want to do that. Like, if people are looking up videos, I don't think they're gonna be looking up how to do Seal J-Sword runs. They're gonna do it because, like, they don't know where to start, and they're just looking how to get XP and or rares. So that's why I feel like even box runs, to a very large extent, are like that, and I'm not gonna cover those in big detail. Other than to say Perfect World 3 is the one you should run if you're able, for techniques. Yeah, like, I'd rather cover things, like, you didn't know about black paper deals, and I feel like that's far more relevant. Well, see you try. Than knowing about where to farm Gaikui, the sky. Just... Like, if people are that worried about section IDs, they're gonna be making potentially multiple characters. Because there's no way you can get everything in one ID anyway. It's not how the game is made. So I don't know if I'll do like a per ID guide. I could do that just for Ultimate to talk about like your best areas. But again, a lot of it is just gonna overlap. That's where I've been having trouble with the format. Because I mean, like, a lot of the answers are gonna be, and then you do TTF or just go to Seabed. It's gonna be like the moral of every story. And then, you know, if you have good rares in episode 4, there's a bit more to talk about there. But that's not gonna be different across the classes. Like, your approach to those quests won't be ridiculously different. Other than to say, like, maybe multiplayer strategies. Like, I do think you have to be decently geared for episode 4. But not to the extent you have to do episode 2. Like, you could get away without having, like, people with frozen shooters, or even technically spread needles. You don't need those specific rares, but you do need damage. So how you get the damage is kind of like, it's up to you. And then you get things like Heaven Striker as your reward, or some bonkers item. Oh, speaking of which, I need to unequip this. So, unfortunately, I'm just looking at it at a more realistic angle. Like, there's a lot to talk about with some of the shop quests. is I don't know how many people have even like used the shop quests, or in particular new players. Like they're not gonna know what to like you. I'm not even sure if you've done it before, CalVitium. Have you even used photon drops in the game to exchange for something? Like that's what I'm talking about. Like stuff like that, or things people are not gonna know. And like I'll give small shout outs to see exactly. So I'll give like little small shout outs to things like Perfect World on how to get some of the coins, or CalVitium's very familiar with Massive Attack with getting the tickets, for example. But like you have to be taught that somewhere. So it's like if you're gonna play some of these quests, you know, let's point them out. So I'm probably gonna talk about like episode 2, Perfect World, maybe a couple VR quests. I could do it per episode. That's how I might have to do it. I don't think I could say like per character. What do I do with the lucky coins? Exactly. I'm not sure if that's a genuine question. If it is, we'll answer in just a moment. Oh, found a photon crystal, nice. But that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. I'm gonna cover that in a video. My short answer to you is I believe the shop quest is called Gallon Shop in episode 2. And you could use it at a little roulette machine to get items. Hopefully that answered the question. In case it was a serious question. Which, to be fair, it could be. I mean, I don't expect most people to know it. But it was kind of tying into that example. I want the video to go over things like that in just one condensed place where you can learn about all these wonderful solo quests that most people will never tell you about, but it's just assumed you know about. You know how to look it up on the wiki? No worries. Yeah, it's useful for like things like, yeah, no problem, Bayorn. So it's useful for things like some TP material or like some generic items, but you're not going to get anything too crazy from that. It could technically, quote unquote, give you a random rare from a pool, but I don't remember any of those being game-changing offhand. I don't think it's as bonkers as the tickets in Massive Attack Episode 4. Getting 200k consistently is like just so ridiculously unfair. I was gonna say... if you wanted to hop in, I'm gonna say that. We'll abbreviate the name. Let us know. We were just helping Bayorn go level up a bit more. I'm probably gonna put away most of these items, like Magical Piece, another character, put away Make Your Shops. Just deciding what to do now. Your name looks extremely familiar. Might have been on a YouTube comment. I learned today, I haven't had to do it before, but I've learned how to look at comments you haven't looked at yet on YouTube. Normally I don't get like a crazy amount. So for me, I was like, oh, there's something I can click for that. It's good to know. That way I'm not just like checking my notifications that occasionally phase things out. I'll try to get into a better habit of looking when I see stuff there. The question is what to do now. I don't think anybody's playing a Force. I don't feel like playing a Force into Ultimate at the moment. My Ultimate drop table, what happened? Like, I play with my drop tables open. I got Black Paper Deal in one tab, Corrin's Prize in another. Oh, I think I accidentally duplicated the Black Paper Deal. I see what happened. So, what do we do next? I was gonna say, if CalVitium's feeling lucky, we could try to get a Heaven Striker. You feel unlucky, CalVitium? I'll switch characters. I mean, if you're trying to gear up a Rockcast, we could do items for Rockcasts. See what CalVitium says. We could do that, sure. I'll bring Dumpling back in. Yeah, as I said before, like, just talking about, like, one episode by itself would be, like, over an hour. That's where I want to be really careful, because otherwise my video will, like, legit never end. Oh, I thought that was Robo Lolita. Never mind. It's not Tiki. I saw the colors were right, but the rest of the looks were off. The more Ziggy episode 4, but this time in Ultimate. If you have any questions for us, just feel free to ask. I don't mind answering. I'm fairly good at multitasking. I was gonna say, playing games that require me to monitor like the bottom of a screen and the middle of the screen means I can look at the chat and play the game at the same time. Although, one thing that comes to mind is, did I switch my bank? I did not. But you're more than welcome to join. You could be level 81, you could be level 200. Everybody is welcome. The whole point of the event in this particular week is that the more people that play, the better the rare rate. So you literally existing, and you could literally AFK, still help. Like, just truthful, honest statements, it would still help. Maybe less so on like a serious run, like if I'm playing like Anguish 2 and you AFK, but for this kind of run, I'm like, nah. Ooh, do I need all this? I don't think I need the blue merge. Blue merge is not a regret choice for me. I just feel like because I keep swapping my Rebarda merge around, I don't need it. Eventually, I'll just not do it. Get 7 photon crystals. So that's 7 different attempts at the quest, or you could do 4 and save the rest for later. Calvitium gets to decide. He's got the power. So, Calvitium, I guess if you're feeling lucky, we could go for a generically useful item. So let's talk about why Red ID is good. Well, we get Cannon Rouge, excellent weapon for you, Calvitium, from Babudas. You could get Heavenly Battle from Dorfon, which again, I would highly recommend players do that over V101. We get access to the Crimson Coat, which is a absolutely fantastic armor for Faux New Rolls, the class I'm playing currently. Let's see, we'll probably do a boss if Calvitium's okay with it. Straight up murder a boss. But we haven't even gotten through the whole list. Red ID is kind of bonkers. Let's do E here. Gives us Photon Crystals as normal, gives you Heavenly Mind. Oh, I keep forgetting when I do that, it deselects the game. 1 second. Move my drop chart over, and we can continue. Yes, I would like to skip dialogue. Yeah, it can give Heaven Striker, which is an excellent tool. It's probably like the boss killing weapon for you, Calvitium, is the Rawcast, if you can equip it. Also gives you Jiska Brayman, the best Jiska in the game. It also gives you Heavenly ability from the St. Million boss, which we're guaranteed to fight. Or, if Calvitium's feeling lucky, we get Centurion ability. It also drops Gracia, which is one of the better shields for in the game. In terms of defense and resistances, we're talking about like pure damage perspective, there are much better choices. But from the standpoint of casual players, or maybe somebody just playing single player, and they don't hit those ridiculous sphered percents you might see on like a Jizai, which is real by the way, if you look up that wiki. They have literal like, you need 60% dark to kill Ilkill. I'm not kidding. So when you're not to that point, Gracia I think is kind of helpful. Sometimes surviving is more important than 15 damage. Sometimes 15 damage is more important than taking a hit, so really just all depends, chat. Yeah, Red ID, absolutely bonkers. I've been meaning to play more of it, so I switched Dumpling over from Pink to this. Although, unfortunately, it doesn't get Limiter, so I need a character that could do Limiter runs at some point. So I'm probably leaning a little towards White ID or Sky ID, the next force, over Yellow. So I don't know if I'll end up doing... Maybe the quest series will be something like... Quests I recommend in Episode 1. Everything you could do in Episode 1. Because I think it's a little too hard to say, like, only certain characters should do X. I don't think I could split it like that. Even though the items are there, I don't know. I have to think about it a bit more. But I have a basic premise, at least for our first quest video. So I feel pretty good about it. We could probably talk at least an hour and a half, 2 hours on it, and then we'll refocus how we're going to do the rest of the quests. Because honestly, just knowing about TTF and things like that will probably carry you through most of the game. And it's only when you're like, oh yeah, I'm level 140. Maybe I should learn something else. That maybe the other video will be helpful. Or Dorfon. I'm gonna back up slightly so it doesn't hit me. Oh, not far enough. Just taking a few more steps back. Well, he is missing me. In a weird way, that was working out for me. That laser sound effect sounds so goofy when you're next to him like that. Let's see, let's see. Yeah, this character just needs some raw XP. I don't think she needs anything special. She's unfortunately past the threshold where I can cheese the boss. So this is where I would argue it might be worth using HP materials. Now that I'm 134, as long as the character doesn't hit another threshold with it, it might be okay. I could see arguments, but I had a lot of fun from like 90 to 128-ish, where I could just cheese the boss super fast. So I guess it's short-term versus long-term. Speaking of which, let's actually switch staves. Pretend we're doing Force properly briefly. Sure, TheCalvitium's happy to whack the ass star. A lot of damage. Look at that. I even put it in Calvitium kill range. You know what? I'm even gonna let Calvitium kill all these. There you go. There's the gift. It's got a normal attack. They only got 226. That's not a lot. Oh, well, that time I can help Calvitium. he chose to get hit, chat. You all witnessed that. Alright, let's kill these Zowies real quick. Goodbye. Hear the Zeus attempting to dive bomb. Did not work very well for them. Ooh, they're not quite lined up. That's unfortunate. Triple Astar. Frame 1 Rabarda, Diva. Time to get wrecked. Get a Zalor in there for Calvitium since he does a bazillion damage. I mistimed the Rabarda. That can be used to stop the charge, but I didn't have faith in the Gafoe coming out in time, but it was more delayed than I thought. So I did have time to Gafoe compared to anything else, because Gafoe is crazy slow. And she's not exactly the fastest with it. Oops, getting dunked on. So yeah, I guess, I don't know, we'll see. As I said before, I think I know what I want to talk about in the first video. There's gonna be some quests I have to review for some general items. And I feel like we'll probably have an amendment to the video at some point if chat brings up something relevant. I'll put it in as kind of like the post-commentary. Because I do feel like it's good to spur the conversation. So if somebody genuinely puts out something that's useful, I will go back and edit the video and just give credit to whoever said it. Because again, there's all sorts of weird, obscure things you could do for XP in this game. Some of them are more useful than others. A lot of it's predicated on the fact that it assumes you have a good mag. So I need to give examples when I'm talking about quest to level. I think things like Tyrells are pretty good, but if you don't have at least a partisan, it could be a bit rough. But you can just quest reset on Tyrells repeatedly, or TTF. So there's a couple different options for boxes, I guess. Sorry about that, chat. Feeling a bit warm. I'm gonna hydrate real quick. There we go. Set things on fire while hydrating. 10 out of 10. Actually, I should Barda. That's a better choice for me, I think. That is not the right stat. Another tri-fluid, sure. Out of curiosity, TheCalvitium, I do see you missing the Astarks. Are you doing like a... Are you doing a heavy attack first or a normal attack? Get the or not the Astarks, the Yowies, satellite lizards. Because I feel like I've seen you whip it like 3 different times now, but I wasn't paying attention if you did a charge or not. Find out later. Let's focus on DPS here. Is they're pretty high in evasion. I don't think you could get away with heart attack like at all on them unless you got really good hit percentage, even with Excalibur. Because for me, I have an 88% chance to hit, and my ATA is like really okay. I'm at 158, and I don't miss it that often. Oh, and sometimes you hit FE by mistake. Okay, I just wanted to make sure, because I'm like, that's a weird. I'm like, that's a weird whiff. So I'm like, I'm pretty sure you should have more ATA than me. I mean, granted, she has the most ATA of the forces, but still. You are swinging with a hit item, and mine is 40% hit. Nicely done. Yeah, like, see, like, with just 2 people, we're getting, like, almost the same XP on very hard compared to ultimate. So again, it really just depends on what your team comp is. So I think that's also really important to note. Is I'm gonna push episode 4 really hard. Not for your first episode, or first choice, but for when you're done with at least the boss the first time. Just go back and do normal. I think that's the right call, even for people that are new to the game. Obviously, if you have, like, better stuff, you should just do episode 4. The quest XP is ridiculous. Unfortunately, their extra health is kind of a problem in Ultimate. The people will normally bring things like demons in particular in order to deal with these things. Speaking of which, I should start bringing Bringer's Arm here. That would help me a lot, because this character is actually fairly accurate. Like, even without the right equipment, she's still at 158. Meanwhile, I think Fomar is like 163 cap or something. It's not that much harder than hitting with Fomar. I almost have Mag Blast, by the way. Close your window, rainstorm, oh no. I don't need that Trimate. I'll drop it for Calvitium though if he needs it. Pick up the Dye Fluid in the meantime and then regen some TP. Look at that casual TP drain, or increase. I mean, I'm pretty much gonna cast Shift to D-Band again, so I might as well get the TP cost back while I wait. So yay, it paid off, question mark? Hail? Is it hailing? Also, I noticed that's a... Is that a Yada mirror on your arm? That doesn't look like Grisha. Yada mirror gives ATP. gonna look at what that is saying in the chat. Friends mostly quit after reaching ultimate. They're unclear what to do next. I think builds metas were overwhelming for them to understand, but they needed to farm first, making PDs and getting themselves. Yeah, I think that's fair. I think a little bit of the problem is I think somebody else was saying in the Discord, like, what quests to farm PDs? And I'm like, it's... I mean, you kind of farm it as you go. I guess you could do... I guess it's a toss-up if I would do Massive Attack versus Terrell's, I guess. But in terms of getting out the character, it's very understandable. That's what it said. Yeah, farm as you go. It's not something like... Your goal is like, oh, I need 80 photon drops. That's not... That's like the consolation prize. You could be doing something else while going for PDs. You don't really need a lot of PDs in order to do well. I think I want to talk about that in a separate video. But yeah, you definitely do not need a lot of PDs to do well. You need a lot of PDs to do well in hard areas, but like to do well in just like a TTF, one of the most common runs, I think you could do it on a budget of like 10, 12 total. Your character could legit be like damage dealer and you don't need anything else. That would buy you a mag, a couple of boss weapons, AoE, done. On a lot of characters. It might be a little more expensive if you're talking Hunter, because those Lambda Argents are normally like 8 PD, and then your mag would be 3. But, right, chat? But, you know, one PD for Heavenly Battle. You're mostly done already as a character. What else do you need? A gun? Pick up any gun. So we'll talk about that a little bit. I want to have initially some things on quests, but I want to have one on as like gear. That's where I want to start categorizing. I think that's where I don't want to do a full quest guide. I want to do more of like an equipment, talking about some equipment. Because when you look at the wiki is only going to talk about like the best of the best. Like, no one is expecting you when you join these games to have like V101, V502 if you're doing like Forest in episode 1. Like, nobody cares. There are so many cheaper alternatives and or ones you could pick up yourself and you could just be at that same quality of life. Like, a lot of those things are just meant to be like, when you're max stat or near max stat, now it's useful. And I think that's a really hard thing to understand for just looking at like the wiki. So that's why I think it's important we have a video talking about that. I just don't know which video it'll go into. So I think where chat was talking about, I think in my Discord, specifically things like they want to see per class. I think they're really just talking about per character, because I can't really separate items that well. There's a lot of crossover for a majority of these items. Like, technically, Heavenly Battle is good on every character. Heavenly Power is good on every character. Is it your meta choice most of the time? Maybe not. Good job on the ult drop, by the way. But it's like, you know, we could talk about what I'm gonna call the luxury rares. Yeah, there needs to be like the maybe we'll call it like the Pauper's Guide. And then there needs to be like the Richie Rich guide. Because there's just stuff where, like, again, like, you're building towards a red ring, but no one expects you to have red ring most of the time. Unless you're like level 200. I don't think most people assume that you would have a red ring. Even if you're 180, I don't think most people would assume it. So it's just kind of like one of those things. So I definitely think, you know what, I think that's what I'm going to call it. I'm going to make what I'll call the Pauper's Guide to deal with it. Because there's actually a surprising amount of really good items prior to Ultimate that cost you like no time to farm. So I'm going to give an example because this is relevant for TheCalvitium. So there's a run you could do in hard mode that gives you like the best armor for rocket seals and rock casts. Like, I don't know how many people know about this run, but it is like fantastic. It's an armor that grants, I think, 35 ATP. And that helps you with so many damage thresholds, especially with how damage works in this game. So if you have like a high percentage weapon, let's say it's 60 native, suddenly you're going 60% more plus that 35. Because for whatever reason, armor and shield ATP are added to your weapon when it's thinking about weapon percents. Again, some of that is like nuance. I don't think people just learned it from a recent video. Oh, about the run I'm talking about, or the armor. But yeah, I want to talk about that for sure. I think the follow-up video will be the Pauper's Guide. I don't think I'm as interested. Fragments and memory quests, exactly. I was gonna say, that is definitely proof that you have looked it up before. I was gonna say, I don't know anybody that runs it. I almost never see it ever. And it's just like one of those, it's like the hidden gem quest. I wanna bring highlights to those kinds of quests when we talk about our quest guides. I don't need to be like the millionth person, like going on about how good TTF is, etc. I want to talk about those more obscure ones that will end up being like endgame for you. Like in particular, if you're playing like female characters and you're looking to get the armor upgrades, like that would be when you would do very hard tower runs, for example. There's like very interesting niche items that we'll kind of go through, and I think the best way to cover it is called we'll call it like the Pauper's Guide. How to get a decent character for ultimate. And then talk about the upgrade options. I think that's a good starting point. Oh, HP and luck material, nice. I'm gonna die here. Oh, nope. Just kidding, I dodged. I should have died there. I deserve to. I wasn't paying attention. I guess there could be some things out there. Yeah, I want to talk about that before we get too much further. I just feel like those quests will generally be more helpful. So I'll do a very generic one for XP, and then we'll go through the Pauper's Guide. Like how to gear up a generic hunter ranger force. I kind of like that setup more. I feel like if people are gonna go like, oh, I want the best rare ever, then I'll just be talking about like Gaiguis all day, or like Olga Flow, or like Tower, and I'm like, what is the target audience for this? I don't think those people will go for it, but it's more geared towards the people that just started playing recently. I think if I stick to that mindset, I'll produce a better video. So I think I have now formulated how to separate out what I was having trouble with. This conversation has been extremely helpful, while still dealing out some information for people waiting in the meantime. Ooh, I got bodied. I'm contemplating just using that glass. I kind of want access to my other spells. I'll give TheCalvitium a little bit of time, but I'm definitely gonna bag glass as soon as this thing dies. He's dying. Okay. I don't care what it is, I'm just using it. If he followed in, I'm been like, whatever. Let's deal with this real quick. I'm like, I missed my other spells too much. Lots of luck materials. This is good. I did end up using a lot of them to reset my Rocket Seal, which was very much long overdue. Although, sadly, I don't think I got any more stat efficiency from that. Wow, I almost died there. That was crazy. Unfortunately, I don't think I got more slot efficiency. I think I'm still 10 levels too shy. But it does mean I don't have to think about her anymore for max stats, so I'll take peace of mind, I guess, as the real benefit of it. Are you trying to Excalibur aggressively? Interesting strategy. Imagine it'd be easier just to machine gun it. Yeah, there we go. Tell him to get wrecked. Galvetium really wants that kill with Excalibur. I'll do this. Oh, I almost messed up the Robarda timing. That would have been embarrassing. I'm like, let's not mess up my favorite room in the game. Goodbye, enemies. We're gonna get in a little further and debuff. Holy, that damage was insane. Please stop stacking hits on me. That is the downside to multiplayer right there. That damage stacking was bonkers. I should not take like 800 damage from a single melee when they're gellined, by the way. As a reminder, they are gellined. They should not do that much to me, but they do. Alas. Anyway, let's unlock a few of these. See Calvitium fighting the nothing near me. Fight it, Calvitium. Kill them with your air mind blade tactics. Okay. This will be interesting. Calvitium with Confused Trap there. That should work decently well. As long as he walks away, they should just not fight him. Let's consume our die fluids. So far, haven't seen any Ranger rares. Feel a little disappointed Valentine's event. No Cannon Rouge. So far, no Heaven Strikers. The things Calvitium's fighting in bulk there, the Pyrogorons, I believe, drop it. Come on. Give us a little taste of a rare. Give Calvitium just some random endgame Rockhouse weapon. It's fine. Our consolation prize will be Heavenly Ability. God Ability gives 20 to everything and a little bit of accuracy, and Heavenly Ability gives 25 instead, and I think half a point of accuracy more. I think God is like 1.5 offhand. It's been a while since I actually looked at it. But sometimes it matters whether you get that half accuracy or not. Hello, ChaosVania. Hope you're doing well. Not sure if you're interested in playing or not, ChaosVania, but you're more than welcome to join in. Just doing runs with Calvitium here. Although I imagine it's getting kind of late for Calvitium. I want to keep him up too late. Otherwise, his workplace will kill me. Heavenly Mind. Hey, see, we're just talking about that. That is a fantastic item for beginner forces. Specifically when they're level 1 and you could just get 4 of those and instantly skip 50 levels of text. What a great item. 10 out of 10, best item. Oh, you're on laptop? You know, they still lasered me even though Gapog was there. Well, hopefully you're doing okay, ChaosVania. I think I saw you were on the road a lot or something. More HP material, sure. We're gonna stunlock the zoo so Calvitium can kind of do whatever. We got a nice little steady pattern going here. It's not doing a lot of damage, but it's enough. Fortunately, that did cost me a lot of Tri-Fluids. Speaking of which, pick another Tri-Fluid there. That way I don't have to go back. I only realistically need 1 Tri-Fluid and max TP to kill the boss. Unless I get unlucky. To be fair, that has happened before. Let's heal Calvitium and cure him. How is it fighting... How is it hitting both of us on 2 different elements? Stop that. Annoying. Oh, Calvitium, do you know how to do the quick menu for soul atomizers, by the way? I don't know if we talked about this before with you. It is extremely useful. That's one of those things I definitely recommend learning if you haven't been using it. Just learned it? Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Wow, we're still another room away. Jeez. Never mind, chat. I'm gonna need to go back for Tri-Fluids, I think. Unless we get lucky and we get a good drop here. Which, To be fair, there's a lot of chances for me to get one tri-fluid, so we'll see. What's the trick? So, 1 second. Do you see how there's normally the action panel on the bottom right? You can see one where sometimes it becomes the chat bubble or it turns into that weird 2 with a squiggly. If you hit the action button there while holding the control panel, it turns into the squiggly. The squiggly will open up your item menu. All praise the squiggly. It is extremely useful. Never doubt. So I would show off more items, but I'm in the middle of a fight. But what you can do from there is if you... My controls are set up so it's left and right, but it might be a little different for other people. But essentially, you can hit a button. It might be tab by default. I gotta learn the default controls to teach people this. But essentially, you can cycle between different pages, so you can select any of your techniques, or select your weapons. So you could use that in order to kind of fast swap. I do it fairly often, or I do it to, like, not target enemies, which is kind of important. So sometimes, like, if a new wave is coming in, I'll just choose to open a menu, so I'm not targeting anything. Like, for now, I could do this. That way I could move. But unfortunately, in that exact scenario, I spawned on them, so that was unfortunate. But they spawned on me, more accurately. Oh, well. Take it for trying to show off. I usually try fluid through that means, rather than open up the item pack. It's a lot less menuing. Eventually, you'll realize items don't really move. If you get used to how the game sorts it, it will be consistent every time, as long as you leave at least one of an item there. So let's say I have like 10 monomates, 10 dimates, and 10 trimates. I will purposely not use a monomate or dimate to not throw off my menu, even if it's the last one and I need healing. Just because it'll keep the rest of the menu consistent. So you'll often see me end quests with 1, and I'll just consume it on the way out, because then I'll just replace it with 10 and sort anyway. But prior to that point, I don't like messing up my menu. I did mess up my menu slightly, because I got rid of the dye fluid, but I was also just not wanting to go back, but I forgot there were more rooms again. So rip me, apparently. Look at that wiggle. You see that wiggle to get out? I'm like, get out of here. Not freezing me. That should be a mass room kill. Nice. So I should level from this quest, guaranteed. So that you said you were playing with people before. What kind of character were you playing with previously? Or potentially still are playing with, I'm not sure. Yeah, TheCalvitium's pretty new to the game. ChaosVania's pretty new to the game. So I try to teach them a little bit. I don't... Sometimes if I come up as a bit abrasive, but I do want them to generally slightly step up their game. Because just learning those little tricks is like such a big quality of life change. Kind of like how I menued there. That would have taken me forever going through the other menu. I would have had to been like... No way. No way, chat. So getting past all my equipment that's like 10 plus more button presses, on top of needing to know exactly how many random items you have, no way. It's not happening. Not in a timely manner. It's just with a stick. Sometimes. Then the gameplay very rapidly improves. Like, at this point, TheCalvitium is basically damage carry for me. And pretty much as soon as TheCalvitium unlocks Excalibur, I'm gonna be like, TheCalvitium, just carry me in a run. I know you've not been playing for more than, like, probably 80 hours total, but just carry me hard anyway, it doesn't matter. Just be the DPS you've always dreamed of being, because you're there, basically. So right now, he's trying to unlock his Excalibur. That's one thing I'm also going to bring up, that there are better ways to unlock the Excalibur. But I'm not sure if I'll... That's kind of like a controversial one, if that'll go in my first quest video. I guess I'll mention it briefly. But I won't go into super details, because I'm not going to talk about how to get Excalibur. I've been playing since last anniversary event, stopped around Christmas. Starting to get back with friends to make the Halloween. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, as I said before, if you see me playing on stream, you can hop in. Listen, I have no qualms. You could be of any skill level, I do not care. The whole goal is to teach people a little bit, maybe, depending on who it is, or get carried. Those are the two statuses. Because there are people here that join the stream, they are very, very, very geared out, and that we just kind of laugh at it sometimes. If they want to pull out the dark flow, I'm like, okay, I can't really do anything about that. At the gym now. Oh, fantastic, you're actually watching the stream while out and about. That's kind of neat. I remember having this conversation about this time maybe 2 years ago, where I was like, I really hadn't been a viewer on Twitch, like basically at all. And then I understood, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I know what it's like now. living the mobile phone life while listening to Twitch. So you gotta articulate what you're doing. So that kind of changed my approach to things like RPGs and things of that nature. Just telling what's going on. I mean, right now I'm winning. There's not much to articulate there. I'll kind of comment upon some minor things. But if we come up to a boss, I'll mention it. And I feel like generally PSO, we've seen the quest like 100 times. That's more, I would say, entertaining to talk about different kinds of topics. It's kind of like a just chat section, but with PSO in the background. Yeah, we talk about all sorts of things here. We had our little, mostly me, had our rant about game companies again. No, I've been seeing monofluids drop, but I think the game is going to force me to back. I haven't seen another try drop since the other room. I see a monofluid, but that's just simply not good enough. I'll have one difluid, and oh my gosh, that almost insta-killed me. That was a wake-up call. I got frozen into Zoo Laser that did 950 damage. It left me at 30 health. But hey, it triggered mag invincibility, so it just goes to show if I had 300 more health, I actually would have died from that. True story. Because I wouldn't have been put to 10% health. Because I have exactly 1,040, so I can get to 104 health and trigger the invincibility. But had I had 300 more, the Marissa would have slapped me and it would have been GG. Definitely can't do the boss now. If I get knocked over at all in the other fight, big time loss. I'm rolling my eyes right now at the lasers. Unfortunately, that means I lose my mag blast. So yeah, very unlucky with trifluids. I got, I think, 2 the whole run, despite killing several hundred enemies. And tools are the most common drop of the game. I think it's like either 40% or 50% most areas, if it's gonna drop something. So the fact that like it hasn't dropped is kind of sad. Normally like weapons and armor are like sub 10% by quite a bit, like 7 and 3% or something like that, depending on the enemy. See, there we got more anti-paralysis. Those could have been triple trifluids, chat. Would have been fine. Okay, I need TheCalvitium to kill this. It's kind of just burning my TP. There we go, final enemy. Unless TheCalvitium has a trifluid, you can pick one up by accident. I got crazy unlucky. In fact, I'm even gonna scroll the item list just to make sure I didn't miss one. But I don't remember seeing anything in the list or on the minimap, other than that one monofluid that I don't care about. Okay, let's take a look together. Wow, literally nothing. Cool. No trifluids. Brutal, chat. It's actually really good to have Photon Blast for this boss, but I can't beat the boss with this TP. Oh, did he drop something? Oh, I picked up a Gracia. We were just talking about that earlier. That's pretty good. You give that to your Rawcast, for example. Although, probably your Rockcast should be using Ranger Wall, which is a great thing to talk about on the Popper Guide. Ranger Wall OP. I'm so sorry, my Mag Blast. I hate wasting you like that, but she's not good enough. Oh, that was way too slow with TheCalvitium. I already teleported. I needed that like a minute and a half ago. We're gonna restock. I think had I just brought mono fluids there, that would have ironically been the right time. I appreciate it. Hold on to it for next run. Just found it on the floor. Unfortunate. Too slow. Rest in peace, the Mag Blast gauge. Yeah, I had no luck. Usually what'll happen if I'm in voice call with people, I'll just be like, just pick up a try for me. I'll need it eventually. Let's just consume our mono fluids now, because I don't want to deal with the menu later. Okay. So because I made the game and this quest is ultra glitchy, TheCalvitium has to go first. He's waiting for me. He has to go first. Yeah, we should get here. Are we lucky? No, we're not lucky. Unfortunately, Save Million, I believe, has a 1 in 10 chance, as does, we call him Scam Burton on the chat. 1 in 10 chance of turning into Conjure, which normally has the ridiculous BS rares. If you're wondering where people get some of the ridiculous things, it's probably from Conjure. Wait, did I not have Mag Invincibility? TheCalvitium murdering that little switch to save us a lot of time. Good job, TheCalvitium. I'm gonna go ahead and debuff the boss. GG. Wow, I can't compete with that damage at all. TheCalvitium targeting something that had about 6k health. It did 1,288. Or 228, I think. 1228. And absolutely annihilated that thing in like 5 hits. Combined with just a little bit of damage from me. Because there's only 2 of us, I don't think it really matters who goes here. If there was a 3rd player, usually somebody always stays behind, but 2 players is like arguable. Because I'm not going to be very quick at the clear with this character. Even if I go like Ice Staff or Barda, it's going to take forever. Alright, so here's a little trick. I'm going to hug the right wall, and this will dodge Tornado, and if I see its missile, I just keep running. It beats everything other than Spinner, this option select. TheCalvitium, gonna get hit there. I got hit by Spinner. Are you serious? Wow. Wow, chat. Wow. I lost the 1 in 4. Wow. So I am not lucky today, chat. That's all I've learned today. Big unlucky. Alright, so my job is to heal TheCalvitium, basically, and TheCalvitium's job is just to damage. I'm gonna have to sort of hurt the Spinners, but they're gonna be very annoying. This is where having low health is useful, because the Spinners, if you have low enough health, actually just give you invincibility constantly. But unfortunately, we're past that threshold. I'm getting stun locked super hard. I can't do any damage. Yeah, like TheCalvitium's here. This would take forever otherwise. In single player, it is nowhere near as bad, I will state. It is nowhere near as bad in single player. It's very easy as forces. But the repeated Spinners are definitely something else. In fact, if TheCalvitium wants, he could just Dolphin this while it's not reeling back, and he could just kill the Crystal Cores, by the way. Forget if we talked about that on stream while TheCalvitium was here. You don't have to wait for me to do it. If you have it, I'd rather you just insta-kill the boss. So it'll pop all the cores evenly. Like, see how there's like, it's got 2017 on one, 120 on another? Dolphin would one-shot. As long as your synchro isn't like 0, it should work. In fact, I'm gonna fix my synchro because I'm gonna donate just to make sure I don't bring his down. The only way it won't hit is if you do it while it's using laser. As long as you don't do it during laser attack, it's fine. Oh. I guess TheCalvitium's not gonna use it. Oh. Alright, I'm gonna donate. Oh no, he did Snake! Oh, you did the wrong one. I don't know if that'll hit. No, it won't. No, TheCalvitium's trolling. No, that could have been the boss fight over. Oh boy. Welcome to about 2.5 more minutes. I'm so sad. We'll teach Calvitium. Dolphin is almost always at the bottom for future reference. Usually when people make mags, it's just how it goes. The twins are almost always on the left. Dolphin is normally at the bottom on every single mag. The only thing that's different would be on the right. Sometimes it's Phyla, the angel. Other times it's the snake. Oh, you don't have Dolphin? I didn't know you didn't have Dolphin. Rip. Dolphin is much better, I'll be real with you. The range of Dolphin is good. Unfortunately, the snake one I really don't like at all because it's covered by the same distance as Phyla, the angel. So I know when I make mags, I don't bother. Rest in peace, Calvitium. So okay, that's good to know. Now I got the Dolphin, but the question is, can I do enough damage on multiplayer? I guess I'll equip Magical Piece for the most stats. We're gonna go for it. Although, no, we're gonna wait for the next one. We're gonna wait for the next one. I'm gonna make sure that this kills. Because then I can possibly do 2k to it. Yeah, that's easy enough to do. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna walk over here preemptively. I don't know why it's still attacking. That's very rude. Go away, missiles. Thank you. Better heal Calvitium. Calvitium did not indeed heal. Alright, well, okay, he revived. Okay, let's just see what it's doing. It didn't do laser. Let's go for the kill. Ooh, off by like no damage. So sad, chat. We killed it. So unfortunately, I did 2,495 or something, and it had 2,000. That's so sad. That's so sad. It had less than 5 health. That's so sad. I guess it did 2,195. Oh, multiplayer. Well, I guess if I level more, that won't happen again. So Constellation level up. Heavenly ability. So I got 3 evade, 2 defense, so I get damage less. More importantly, we're gonna give a salute to Heavenly ability. Thank you, Heavenly ability. So these things could drop something useful, but I think the game is like, nah. Now I'm kind of decked out with random abilities. That might end up going on my Humar so we could use Holy Ray sooner. Oh, poor Humar. Poor Humar. Anyway, I think the run went okay overall. It takes a while with only 2 people, but lots of materials, Heavenly Mind. I don't think it's like super useful for Calvitium. I imagine he's always gonna play robots. Who knows, maybe he could get a trade in for it. Or if he ever decides he wants to try a force. We'll find out. He's away for now. Thank you, Calvitium, for the run. Hopefully you had a good time. Now the question is, what do we do next? I don't see a lot of people playing Ultimate at the moment in the chat. My chat real quick. That's unfortunate. Oh well. I was gonna say, if we had like a force, I'd probably just damage carry in CTF. If we had a ranger, I'd probably do some Tyrells. If we had a hunter, I'd probably just do more of this. Oh well, it is what it is. So let's think about what kind of run I want to do to mix things up as we wait for people. Do I do Andrew run? Max out on defense materials? Do you mean in your bag? I'm gonna put these away. I need to have a great contemplation as to what I want to do next. I could just leave these on her, honestly. The only ones I want to put back are these. Jared bag. Yeah, you'll have to move him to character bag, probably. I could leave her with the elemental staffs. I mean, she's good enough with them. Fix her sword real quick. Do I do some forbidden runs for Pink ID Limiter? Dare I do it? It's been a long time since I did it. I'm just thinking of how to mix it up a little. I'm lame to Argent. Nice. If I had Skyly, I'd be doing that, I think, at the moment. Like, the question is, do I bother with rare enemy runs? I don't think I do, but I could do it just to mix things up a little bit. Oh, right. I could get Limiter from Astarks. Yeah, let's do a blue run then as we wait for people. Have a good night, TheCalvitium. Hope you're doing well. I might even get more heavenly HP, which is amazing for leveling characters. So we're gonna go back to Mr. Freeze, I think. Yeah, if there was like a hunter, I'd probably do like... Or not a hunter. If there's a ranger, I'd probably do Tyrells for frozen shooter chances, but also to see if we can get boosted rare rates for... Oh. I say hello to Tiggy. That's who I thought I saw in the area earlier. And welcome to Tiggy. Let's see. As I said before, I guess we'll do pod. I'm sure at some point, probably in like an hour or so, we'll see an influx of people. Because I know a lot of people are currently streaming, so if they happen to be winding down for the night, we might see more support later. But hey, that's why we put in the title. I had a feeling it'd be a lot of solo runs. What do I want for this? Probably these. He still has his elemental stats from before, right? Yeah. I'm kind of thinking about that Heavenly Mind. How badly do I want to max MST? Oh, I'm at 392 base defense. Oh, what a fantastic number, actually. I think Rifoi is a bit more useful in general play. Try something like this. Yeah, let's do a quick pod. Oh, I didn't even list pod as one of the quests I'd recommend. Oof. Let me put that on that list. I mean, it's not something I'd do it like literally normal, but it's pretty good. Who is my favorite solo quest? That's a great question. I think when it comes to general gameplay, I'm leaning a little more towards the Faux Newman. Because they could do all the runs that I need them to do in episode 4, I would say the character I have the most fun in solo versus multiplayer would probably be the Fomarl. She's like weirdly the most unkillable character in the game. It like makes almost no sense to me. Like it's just actually ludicrous how unkillable she is. She can do basically everything. She's got more ATP than the Faux Newman, so I find it more useful to take her into places I'm not meant to go. I think if I wasn't going to say Faux Newman for episode 4, I guess the best way to say it would be episode 4 would be Faux Newman, episode 2 would be Fomarl, and episode 1 would be Ramarl. Although I do like Ramarl in episode 2 as well. I think that's the closest I could do it. But in terms of like overall hours spent, I think statistically it has to be the Faux Newman. Just because there are so many good rares in episode 4, and there are so many different runs you could do in episode 4. And I like episode 4 the most. So between all of those factors, I'll just end up playing the character who's better suited for it. So this is where I'm thinking if I want to switch up my ID colors a little bit. I kind of want a pink ID that can farm limiter, but if I can also do white ID to farm limiter. I'm also at the point where I might not need more, so I have 3 pending, and that would fill up every single character, so I don't have to swap them anymore. Tough decisions to make. In the meantime, I'll go for limiter on the surface here. I don't want to do a limiter only run and consisting of massive attack resets. So I'm just gonna go for a rare Conjure just because. I think people pay like 10 plus Photon drops for Mother Guard plus. No, that's Ignition Cloak. Maybe more like 5. But either way, it is a lot of Photon drops potentially if I really want them. It's a very convenient item to have on this character. Because again, I don't really need the damage threshold most of the time. I know people are like, the 10% is important, and I'm like, sometimes, not in single player mostly. Multiplayer, maybe. But like, I'm not gonna benefit from most of the time of getting 1 less cast. Not in multi. How did that Zoo not die, by the way? 11 damage. See, that's a scenario, chat, where if I had 50 more MST, that would have killed. So I'm feeling the not at capped MST damage right there. Ooh, I went this way first. I don't know how I feel about that. That felt a little disrespectful of me, I'm not gonna lie. Just sat there and just blasted him right in the face. We're gonna do little micro steps so he misses. Oops. I forgot my casting animation makes my back go backwards. Yay, extending our hurt box. Like, of all the things to take from fighting games, I don't like that one. Let's do this. So I took little steps there so the Astark whiffs. That little bit of movement is often just enough to dodge while still being pretty efficient damage. Little thing you figure out by playing Phonuman long enough. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna interrupt with the fireball because we feel like it. Oops, more steps. You lasered instead of charging? That was just rude. Just rude, chat. He's supposed to get angry and charge at us, not laser spam. Get out of here. Gorpon. So we're gonna walk forward to ensure he looks at me. Now he can't jump. There we go. Wow, that Rebarda damage is bonkers. We'll come over here. Thinking about if I just want to use a single tri-fluid. I think I do. Little step there to dodge. Should be fun. I'm showing you how bad the Astark hitbox is. Like, it really assumes you're not going to move when it attacks, or if you approach, it'll punish you. But any other scenario, you can just circle strafe him. Not as threatening as it initially seems. He's not smart enough to aim properly, at least. Take a small step forward there so we don't get slapped. Nope. A little more damage with my staff there. I think that put me past the threshold because I did 3 spells. Okay, then we'll switch back to our single target foe. Bonk. I mean, this quest is pretty standard. There's not too many crazy enemies to fight. Just mostly focus on what would be a normally easy boss. If we're lucky, it'll be Conjure. Maybe I'll get something interesting out of it. But probably not. That's just the way with the game. See, that little small step there stopped the S-Arc from hitting me, which is important if hits knock you down, to just not get knocked down. Not a big time loss to take that one step. Not a big time loss at all. I'm killing the Babuda. That's my priority target. Not the zoo. Not his little companions. The Babuda. It knows what it did. Speaking of knows what it did. That one Gafoe. There we go. I accidentally normal attack while trying to use Foe. That was awkward. Oh, he's in laser spam mode. Unfortunate. I think if I gel in him here, he won't knock me down. I'm gonna go with that. Oh, we'll never find out, apparently. I disagree with him leaping at me. I felt like I was walking at him pretty much in a straight line. Got a little unlucky there, I think. I will gladly pick up that Tri-Fluid. I guess I'll also check for box rares since I'm here. This little cubby corner leads to a bazillion items. Foe level 20. Well, if I wanted to help out a ranger, I should pick it up. Demon arms, unfortunate. Here, I'll take the Gafoe 20 for somebody else. I don't really need it because I don't plan on making another ranger. Like, I like the Ramarl, but she's kind of annoying to gear towards. Like, she's good. I could give her the last swan, but I love Heaven Striker Mag. Oh yeah, I forgot to look. Oh, it's not even beat. I was like, darn, I could have been doing Heaven Striker this whole time. Never mind. False alarm. Did not miss out on an opportunity to shoot space lasers. That also makes this episode a total joke. Like, you could do it fast as the Force, and then you try it with the Heaven Striker, and you're like, oh wait, she's just better than the Force. She's just literally better than the Force of their own episode. Why is that a thing? It's like more AoE damage, amazing single target potential, high accuracy, more health, more defense, better weapon selection. Like, what a broken character. Is there an episode Ranger can't do? Question mark? Answer's no. They're too good, chat. I think I see why people say the Rawcast is like one of the best characters in the game. I believe it. I haven't leveled my Rawcast that much, but I'm sure it's very bonkers. So I could change out my purple ID Ramarl to be something else. But then the question becomes, will I ever need to farm heavenly abilities or anything from purple again on episode 2? That's the question I should be asking. Because, like, I would realistically use her if for some reason I agree to go to tower again. But I'd probably use her in Seabed, for example. Tough decisions. If she also had a rare boss run in episode 4 and had a good thing with episode 2, think about it. If it also happens to get red ring, that's the cherry on top, then that'll be the idea of choice. Although sadly, the more I say that, the more it sounds like I'm just gonna be playing Viridian. But I'd like her to be something other than Viridian. I don't know if Green ID would be good enough, for example. I mean, Green ID can get Heaven Strikers and stuff like that. I guess it would be okay. I think Green ID is also decent at episode 2. So we're nearly done with the quest. We're gonna come to one of the silliest rooms in the game, where I will do nothing but Refoe until the room dies, just to showcase how dumb this spell is. How did I go? What? 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 I don't know if chat saw that. I hit the confirm button on that teleport, and that took 9 seconds to register. Holy server lag. What was that? Bonkers. Anyway, Refoe, They're all dead. They never reached me. Oh, look, chat. Another wave of 2 enemies at a decent distance away. Sure, it would be a shame if I stun-locked them from their spawn position. Oops, they all died. So anyway, on to the next wave where a giant zoo is in the middle of the room. Oh, what a shame. The zoo is in the perfect position to refoe everybody else. Oh, and look at that. When you kill everybody else, it causes another wave to spawn. But oh no. The zoo I'm targeting already could take massive damage and kill the entire room. Oh, look, there's only 1 enemy left. Oh, and look, more enemies have spawned, but the refoe is reaching him. Yeah, that's fair. But anyway, refoe the room, the game. Like, they're not even, the zoos aren't even weak to fire, quote unquote, but it just doesn't matter.
Wide open!
Thank you, Dr. Gnome, for following. We're gonna show you, we're gonna call this one our little chat secret. I don't know how many people do this. So, doors are a magical entity in PSO. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna stack Fireball. And you're like, why would you do this? If you Fireball in another room, doesn't it not damage people? And then I'm like, oops, they forgot to code that in episode 4 to work like that. So anyway, I killed that Marissa before it was a problem. So now I never have to fight the Marissa, chat. And now that I'm over here, I get a free kill. This is Pawn. This is indeed Point of Disaster. So anyway, what a silly doorway. So anyway, if you have problems with that Marissa, it's easy. Just spam spells where it doesn't exist yet and then murder it. It's just simple. Doorway abuse is a beautiful thing, chat. See, like, it won't do damage unless you're also in the room. But I think they forgot the scenario of what if I cast it while not in the same room? So you could just enter most doorways like that. It's not specific to episode 4, but I probably have used it most here. It will happen unintentionally a lot in episode 1. Yeah, we're gonna go for stun locks here. Ooh, good rhythm. Goodbye. Look at that, I still have all those tri-fluids. I don't need them. Off by 3 damage. Chat, that's what's known as a heartbreaker. You know that any level up would cause me to do enough damage to get that kill. That is so sad. On average, it takes 5 MST to increase the damage. Sometimes it's 6, sometimes it's 7, depending on resistance. Due to the calculations, it will always minimum be 5, because it divides by 5 for some reason. But yeah, that was really sad to be off by 3. So that means in 3 casts, I would deal 1 more damage. It would have killed. So let's assume that this is going to be the boss I don't want to see. So I'm going to gear up for the boss that I don't want to see. Come on, Scamberdan. Yep. Its name is Shamberdin, but it is a scam every time. You should try Heaven Striker using DP on episode 2, especially Temple. DP. You don't need to be in the same room to do damage. Are you allowed to? I didn't think you were allowed to target that through hallways. That'll be an interesting thing to try out later. I know it can go through walls to some extent, but not like through rooms, if that makes sense. We've been abusing that in Terrell's. If that's true, I want to try that later. Oh, I have like 3 eternities to kill this with Ravarda. That's very interesting. I don't think I've tried it in episode 2. I've used it to like stun lock the lilies. That's a very interesting tip. You stand right in the middle of the door, they won't aggro. Oh, the door trick. Oh, okay. You're talking about another door trick. Got it, got it. I'm curious from the standpoint of if you do that in Terrell's, if that also works. I'm not sure if you're familiar with this, but there's a little magic spot in the massive arena towards the end of Terrell's. If you go against the, I don't know what you call it, the lip or the edge of the stage, where it goes back into the room you teleported from, shenanigans will happen. It's my favorite spot as a force. Oh, he's got enough health. I don't even have to heal. Chat, this is why I love low health, by the way. I can't be targeted, so I don't waste time healing. Oh, what a beautiful thing. Look at that. Look at that laser. I mean, it could hit me, but it's not going to. Anyway, we get basically a free boss, and this is why I don't use HP materials. Look at that time save. I would have had to have been healing. I would have needed to heal there. Nope. Free boss. There we go. Low HP strats, chat. They are 100% genuine. It feels so good to abuse that mechanic. So this thing is going to shoot a laser. I'm going to try to go over here to not get hit. No, what, chat? I'm going to go for it. Hold on. We'll weaken him slightly first. Let's just use the power of Dolphin. I'm pretty sure this is GG. Checkmate? Checkmate. Simple, chat. Simple, easy fight. Just be invincible. See that, chat? Like, how much damage does some of the boss moves do? Who knows? We didn't get to see it in the run. We don't need to see it with low HP. So I'm gonna feel so sad when this character gets another 60 health, by the way, chat. Like, actually sad. You have no idea. Razan level 29. Ooh, where'd that drop? That'll be a fun one for later. Yeah, I definitely want to see if it acts as like a spell. So there's that little magical lip in Terrell's. I guess I could show it off. I imagine it would work the same way for Divine Punishment. If it technically doesn't have to... I thought it had to target, but maybe it doesn't. Guess we'll target. Because normally I see it kind of light up. But I guess it might not. I think that's worth testing. Capped out on items there. We are super good. Yeah, doorways are a weird thing in this game. Like, I think they realized they were a problem, and then they just kind of gave up on them during development. So, like, what do I mean by that? Well, doorways in, like, every area of Episode 1 behave differently, and it is, like, the most annoying thing to learn the differences between the doors. The ruined doorways, in particular, are atrocious. They tried to compensate with you doing the thing I just did in Episode 4 by creating a massive, massive, massive dead spot near the door. And unfortunately, more often than not, it means that on certain quests where enemies are able to just instantly reach you, you'll be in a state where you actually can't hit them at all with melee weapons or ranged weapons. Only spells can deal damage. And it is the worst feeling in the world. It is unintentionally very difficult because of them being not good enough at solving that problem. They ended up creating another issue from it. Do I feel like doing any purple runs? Question mark. So if I change my ranger to green, I get a red ring, which is all I care about in episode 1 at this point. In episode 2, they could get V502 randomly from flower. Oh, they don't get parasitic gene flow though. That might be a bit of a deal breaker, but they get everything I want in episode 4. Kind of a mixed bag. If I make them white ID, maybe my ranger should be white ID. So then I could go for Frozen Shoot or Red Saber. Heavenly Resist is okay. They could get Ruby Bullet. Yeah, maybe they should be my white ID. Because then I could still farm V502, which is the only thing I would want to do in tower is get more of those. Oh, but they also don't get Parasitic Gene Flow. Oh, come on. They're one item shy. There has to be some magic combination. So close, chat. So annoyed. Is there no class that gets both? Oh, purple gets Parasitic Gene Flow. That's what I am currently. Unfortunate. I guess purple is just gifted like that. They just get the better items in the game. There are a couple spots on TE. It's DP, but yes, the target. No aggro DP Pistan is the kind of cheese. Oh yeah. There's several points for sure. I like the optional waves where you can open up the laser gate. I love shooting them through the wall there. It's pretty silly. Making that makes me want to do Ramaro, but it's not an even beat yet. Like, what a heartbreaker. Let me get something for Parasitic Gene Flow. I guess if I'm doing those kinds of runs, I could just not use that character. Everything else is good on the other IDs. Oh well. Dare I join a random TTF game to try to get something? I don't usually go into full rando games. These away. Keep those. I have enough 3 seals now that I don't have to swap them out at least. Sorry, chat, feeling indecisive again. Contemplating life. I'm gonna hand in the quest and think about it. Actually, you know what? I'm probably not gonna do more episode 4, so what I should do is check to see how many tickets I have on these characters. Do some gambles as I think about what to do. Cleared the quest. It's been a while since I checked. There are some decently high-level people in the lobby. Imagine they're just waiting on TTF. Some of them, not all of them. Favorite game name? Go to a magical little shop. Notice to the deepest blue. Oh, darn right I'm skipping dialogue. You can't make me sit through that. Get out of there. Anyway, let's see how many tickets I have. Oh my gosh, I get so confused when I get sent out of that teleporter. That's not normally how you enter that kind of room. My brain just doesn't want to comprehend where the ramp is, visually speaking. Let's do some gambles. Hello, Travis. Hope you're doing well. I have 60 tickets. Nice. I was gonna say, if you're interested in doing any runs, Travis, let me know. It's been a bit quiet on stream for a little bit. I'd be up for TTF potentially if you wanted. Not sure if you're still looking for Red Ring. Oh, I got the prize I wanted, 200,000. Nice. Nice. Worth prize, don't care. I only won second place, by the way, chat. I mean, if I keep getting first, eventually I'll get photon drops from this. I don't care about fourth place. Third place is somewhat interesting. I could get TP material. Now I'm half wondering if I have 1,000 health, if it would be faster for me to do things in Anguish 1 than normal difficulty just to get boss invincibility. I'm now actually thinking about that genuinely. Oh, TP material, nice. Always need red ring, or at least they need to drop it for me once so I can stop being obsessed with trying to get it to drop. Like a Travis, if you bring in a force, I'll bring in a Viridian. And get more money. It's very important I get this out of the way before I forget about it. More mono grinders. Boo. Come on. Anyway. Well, anyway, if chat needs mono grinders, I definitely don't need them at all for anything. I think that's at 10 tickets. My reading speed could be fast, but even that was a little cut off for me. Yeah, I think that's at 5. I know I'm bashing through the menu, but I'm pretty sure that was legit my last set. I'll do it one more time just to prove. Yeah, I have 0. Omar, Farnui, whatever you're more comfortable with, I would just say. I don't need you to do anything other than just a couple shifted D-bands. I'll do all the damage. I guess whoever you feel comfortable dealing with, like, spinners. To me, I don't have a preference for healing. I shouldn't, hopefully, ever really take damage. I guess it really depends on who ends up joining us, what would be more useful. I'm actually not gonna use the TP material on him. I'll wait for now. Oh, I should be good to go. Go ahead and swap out. Let's do some C-Bank 3 action. Away we go. If one character needed more levels, for example, I just bring that character. One more can fit into any role. Sure. I mean, like, the Gafoi bonus helps with doing minimum damage for spinners. My poor Humar. One day, chat. I mean, chat tried to level this character, and that was, like, the worst stream of all time. It will never go up on YouTube. Those that have seen it have seen it. It was horrendous. I think I dropped, like, 11 times in an hour and a half. Ridiculously unstable. The game was trying to tell me something for sure. So let's go ahead and make a game. We'll call it Viridian TTF. And then what we'll do is we'll clear the password. We got Travis in here. Gray's asking if I need help. Hello, Gray. Oh yeah, we need some filler slots. Oh, you are Kaido. Okay, I wasn't sure, Travis. I've only seen your Fomar a couple times. I had a feeling. I was gonna make a comment. By all means, Gray, join in. Whoever wants XP. I'm DPS carry. I can solo this whole quest as long as I have Shifta. I'll put it that way. As long as I have Shifta, I can do this. Zalora would be nice, but not required. Shifta is mandatory. Okay, so I don't see anybody else joining, so we'll clear the password. Second C-Bank, you started running out of names. They're all Travis after that. There's a name shortage. We're gonna hopefully get a fourth person. I mean, does Viridian... Oh, heck yeah, it does. Viridian is the best. Viridian's amazing. It even gets LNK 38 combat, aka the minigun. So good. Might be able to join in next round. Perfect. We could get a group of all people watching. I mean, technically, I could just set password again and wait for you. It's all up to you. As soon as somebody joins, we'll go though. Tiki got a VM101 last run. Nice, nice. I said hi to him in the lobby. We've mostly been playing on our own. It's been kind of a quiet time. So we'll wait just a bit longer. They probably knew the password. Oh, yeah, for other people joining. Yeah, it should be passwordless at the moment. We're just waiting for somebody. Take some time, relax. I got 2 scape dolls, that's good enough. I'm gonna wait about a minute more, and if nobody joins, we'll do it with 3. As I said before, I have all the DPS. This character is ready. Like, she's good to go. Pineapple has joined. Oh, I've seen Pineapple before. They're the cast I like the colors of. Like, genuinely, I like the color combo. I'm gonna do that next character I make. Oh, I probably commented on Pineapple every time I see them. Yeah, I love that color combo. The only thing I would change, I would have made them purple or pink ID. Hey, that was ours. Okay. I was about to do one of the automatic ones. There we go. Ooh, Pineapple, 1600 health. Well, they're definitely surviving falls. We get to play with Pineapple. Nice, nice. Not sure what Pineapple brings. We'll see. They got any cool weapons on them? They're gonna be mech gunning it up. We'll find out shortly. Good assumption. Goodbye, enemy. Little pause trick there. Oh, we're even like Nidra twins. Nice. Same color Nidra. Oh no, different color. Close. Could have been more special. Oh, they're red sorting. Interesting. I'm always curious what people end up using. I'm gonna go back for that mine material, I think. Damage is absurd. But speaking of which, I finally got a good weapon for this. Chat's just gonna look at me at like 41 health. They're like, what are you doing? It's fine. I live on the edge. We're gonna believe he's not gonna touch me. Speaking of which... Oh, why was it still targeting the head there? That was weird. I guess I didn't move over far enough. Okay. Might as well as regen health for the final phase. Ooh, that thing died instantly. Know what, chat? The important thing is I didn't die. Oh, I finally got the shot off. There we go. I beat the game to it. We'll keep the Tribate, I think. Bazooka army. So anyway, they probably moved on. I like to check the crates because I do get photons from that one set. They're already at the boss. Okay, the weight switch. Kill that thing real quick. Sure, I'll kill the slime randomly. Get that free XP. I just like to apologize to everybody in advance. I'm gonna let them know. I'm going for this clear. You shouldn't do this, but I'm gonna greed. I think our team's strong enough. You don't need me in the other room. But that was too soon. That's sad. The reason I do this is I want the red sword. If I got another one, it would fix the Humar, I think. Perish, simple dragon, no red sword. I usually clear it about the time they clear this room anyway, so it's like the mandatory wait is here. And then I could just stay behind. Finish the run at this point. So I still have a role here, even though I didn't help them with this room. Speaking of which. Anyway, dead. Just real quick assassination, chat. Real quick. Oh yeah, no worries though. I'm usually on the ball with the telepipe. The only time I'm thrown off is if somebody is already telepiped. Otherwise, I'm like I usually guess who gives it to me. But it's appreciated. Well, they had Slicer of Fanatic. Really, on a cast. Interesting. They got red sword, so that means they probably don't have Excalibur. Unless they have a crazy red sword. Maybe like 80 ABs. But either way, very fast. Very, very fast. No LNK. Sadness. I'm not even gonna bother picking about the item. Let me keep moving. Let's, oh, they even... Okay, they know about the Confused Trap. I'm seeing some player knowledge. I'm gonna freeze them solid for him, so he doesn't have to worry about shooting it. He'll out DPS me, so I might as well just get rid of the target, stopping him from shooting. Oh, he even swapped a pistol for the fast shot there. That's interesting. Wonder what kind of pistol he's using. Maybe it's a Gush? What would you use as a Q-cast in that scenario? I would guess Gush. Although it could technically be charged still. That one thing was following me forever. He definitely better stay behind. I'm gonna definitely take this door. I'm not out DPSing at Q-cast. You got that? Okay, we're good. I'm fine either way. How did that not freeze? Excuse me? I put down 2 freeze traps. How did that not freeze? That's actual madness, chat. Like, I legit went 1, and then I went 2 to cover myself. Ridiculous. Yeah, that time it worked. Oh, that time he's invincible. Unfortunate. We cleaned up the room at least. So we'll see how they react to this. Sometimes I see people go beyond to the next enemies. Oh, they already... What? 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 I can't hit the shot from there. I better try mate that. I guess they went ahead. I wasn't paying attention to the minimap there. That would explain why some DPS was a bit weird in that room. Oh, you know what they were doing? They probably didn't realize it was Viridians. They killed the other guys and came back. That's probably what happened. I think that makes sense. Because some people might not know the V101 is from the Sinnoh Blues there, so they would have gone for the optimal route, which is just killing the red and leaving. That's probably what happened. That's how they killed the Brands, because they realized it was Viridian. Confuse the Brands with the Confuse Trap, they kill each other. That's kind of neat. Oh, that 3 monitor cycle, though. That was sick. Perfect phase 1. Nobody can be in the room while it happens, though. That makes sense. I'll try to put that in my gameplay, Travis, honestly. Good to know. It makes sense. They will missile each other. Wow, that positioning, chat. Holy, that didn't hit me? Godlike. Okay. Godlike positioning, chat. Yeah, that's probably what happened. Makes more sense. I was wondering how they were clearing so fast. My brain was slowly processing how that was done so fast, so thank you for skipping some steps for me. I would have been like, but how did he clear it in a minute? It's just himself. He should have been taking damage. Wow, he got the first freeze there? I've only seen a couple people do that before. I don't normally go for that one. I just wait. So I'm waiting for the force anyway. Wow. Alright, this person's putting some runs. My little telepipe down. Yeah, like, I know it's possible to do it, but you have to be the first person in the room for the timing. So normally, like, when I do it, I'm always usually, like, second or third, because I'm checking items. So I don't normally go for it. But yeah, he committed. Pineapple pretty solid. And today we have learned, we get to share it with the stream, learning about the Confused Trap tech. I don't think I've seen anybody do that on any of the runs that we've done before. Rest in peace, Fomar. Well, I was gonna revive, but apparently not needed. Yeah, I found, like, if you're using the staff animation with, like, Fo Newman and Fomar, you just kind of die instantly to Spinner, but I do like having Bringer's Arm, the same scenario. I like that it puts you in an animation that doesn't have you particularly wide, so you could Kafoe this room, but then it also lets you still deal damage if your team is a little low on DPS. In single player, it's more important to do that, because then you don't lose time swapping between weapons to do DPS. Multiplayer, with there's a Hugh cast and 2 Rangers. Probably not as relevant. But I figure I'd throw it out there. People looking to improve. That was such A greedy... That was such a greedy ability for me to use there. I went normal special instead of normal power special. I couldn't have had good hit percent odds with it. Yeah, I got 2 pop shots. The fake out. I'm gonna walk away from the group, so I'm less likely to get hit. Again, I only took a little bit of chip. Fine. Getting trolled. Ooh, we're getting super bad cycles. I better be careful here. Get the outward dodge. Oh, I saw who it was targeting that time. Did the boss always have a visual cue for who it targets? Have I just like noticed that for the first time ever? I saw the laser point where it was gonna go. I think that's the first time legitimately ever I've seen who it was gonna target. I knew it was gonna go behind me, that's why I dodged right. Today I've learned, apparently if you're close enough you can see that. I definitely don't notice that when I'm normally playing. Well, I'm gonna take some big damage there, but that's fine. It's max distance for me, that's unfortunate. Can't use sacrifice. We didn't quite one-cycle it, but it should be good enough. As long as it's not invincible on the way down, it's gonna die. I'm kind of worried it is. It's invincible on the way down. Annoying. No, pineapple! No! I didn't do the last shot in my defense! No! He had 1700. Did somebody rapid shoot or something? That's so unfortunate. Oh, it's like I even walked away to purposely not do any more damage. That sucks. I'm so sorry, Pineapple. Yeah. That really sucks. I'm not even gonna say GG. That felt bad. It's like, oh, I even like pulled away. I was like, oh, no more hits. Damn. Well, the only thing I can say, unfortunately, is this is why we bring scape dolls to avoid scenarios like that. Like, it's not intentional for the most part when other players do. Like, players could do that to me, I don't care. But from the standpoint of, like, it's just sometimes, like, a crit might put you too high. Just like to remove the RNG factor of that. That is so sad. If I had gotten Red Ring, I would have given it to the other player there. Because that's not fair. They didn't get the chance. But I didn't get Red Ring, so it doesn't matter. I've done that before. If somebody dies to Conjure You, I'd be like, you can take the Conjure You rare if you died. Just don't die on purpose. Then I'll get annoyed. I'll be like, seriously? What are you doing? But yeah, that one was definitely not intentional. That was so sad. Okay, let's make another game. This character getting Red Ring would be so sick. It would fix her stat issue. We'll do Viridian. Or I guess if there's 4 people, I'll just call it CKTTF. I'll always rename it later. Yeah, let's call it CKTTF so we can find it. I almost saw the Waluigi. I saw somebody that was in the same color scheme as me and it threw me off. I was like, oh no. Being haunted beyond my normal character select screen. Hello, Mayu. The faux new rule. So you don't accidentally crit again. That's fair. So I'm not sure if he wanted to join in. Oops. Turn that alarm off. I don't need that at the moment. Can't crit if I have no luck. Yeah, it was like, ah. See, normally in those scenarios, I will stay. If I'm forced, I will just spam Resta. If I see their health is like that, I don't even bother DPSing. But it's a tough call, because sometimes not doing that could cost you like 30 seconds. It's always like a judgment call on the spot. But I did see they had 1700, so I was like, I'm gonna do like a normal and wait, and I did my normal and waited. And then all the other damage like blatted on him. Unfortunate. I'm not sure if that is still there in the chat. If not, we'll just open it up. We'll rename the game. We'll give a courtesy 30 seconds. Small Papa critted to 700. Oof. Yeah, the trick with it is like, I just pray for the crit on the opposite ends. I'm like, I'm just gonna sacrifice special. If they're gonna die, they're gonna die in glorious fashion of taking 1,200. Password is king, lowercase. Chat, if you see me Soul Link, let me die. I always have scape dolls, just let me die, it's fine. We'll save the seconds. Save the frames. Astro 7, 1386 health, 191. Excuse me, what level 178? Pretty high up there. White ID, Ramar, I think. Let's go ahead and get the DPS on. Listen, chat, I am definitely never gonna say no to more Rangers. If it's oops all Rangers, I'll be like, okay. It's fine. They can do basically everything. At some point, I guess it would be nice if my Ramar did this Viridian, and that way if we have a force, have a slightly more consistent character. Yes. Then I could just land the Heaven Striker blow more consistently. Something for me to ponder later. I just see the triple spread needle. It was like the firing squad. We just whipped it out and it was all over. Those poor Hildebears. So just one day. One day they'll succeed. Okay. Round start Cannon Rouge, a power attack maybe? Did that whiff? Wow, unlucky. Sure, I'll just attack meaninglessly for a bit. I'm gonna see if I can get the HP bar to glitch. Go for it. Do it like right here. Oh, we didn't do it. Close. What the? That hit me from there? What was it even? I was pretty far away. How did that hit me? What? Look how far I died from the ball. That must have been like near max range. That blew my mind actually. Like I wasn't even in the cutscene where it died, but it hit me. That was very interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay, they're gonna go through there. This will whip out ye old Heaven Striker. The temptation to kill that slime is so strong. I'm gonna wait a little bit though. Now I might just kill the slime. I'm gonna move on. Who knows? Maybe it'll photon drop. Oops. Let's make sure the Lily dies. Yeah, as long as somebody goes to the next room, we don't lose any time for me doing this. It's just more checks for the team. Oh, that time I timed the freeze trap correctly. Good job, me. I did it. I didn't do it like 5 seconds too early like last time. Chat's helping me clear the room. The almighty clear. Rest in peace. I'll take the defense material. I guess that's my consolation prize. Anyway, onwards to killing these things briefly. Well, time to execute a poor enemy. Oh, speaking of which, I need to get more telepipes later. I'm down to 3. I missed the special. I'm so sad. Time loss. So sad, chat. Great shame. Vulcan Demons. 20 hit total. I don't think so. I'm gonna say, just remember, chat, you have full permission to kill this character on balls. Save those seconds. So let me pop these. Man, I love spread needles so much. Okay, come on, LNK for somebody. No. Not for me, at least. Yeah, LNK, nice. Hopefully that roll would hit. Oh, no hit. That's a shame. Shit. I don't know about that. But hey, you got the gun. Where did my gun aim? What was that? I shot the doorway. What? I guess it like auto-targeted my trap, but it like horribly whiffed. That was interesting. It's like, I'm like, well, I guess I'm not gonna hit the Sinnoh red if I decide the wall is my mortal nemesis for some reason. I put a fire trap down just to get them off of me for a second. Perish. I guess I could try that other strat. I guess I'll go for it, chat. I'll go for the Baran's Confuse. You gotta learn how to do it. Although I'm gonna freeze trap obviously the first wave or so. I'm gonna do it on the second or something. Okay, dead. Put down a courtesy freeze trap here, and then we're gonna move on. We'll let the team keep fighting though. It did something like this. Let's see if that works. We're back. Getting some DPS in here. Let's put some freeze traps back down. And let's see if they died. If not, I gotta learn what I gotta do differently. Oh, there's 2 left. They didn't quite... No, never mind. They died. I lied. Now I've learned. Yay, learning. I guess it would be arguable in this position if the Ramar should be the one that's stunlocked. Ramar has more ATP and is also able to hit the monitor, but I'll still go for the stunlock. That one's very situational, because only I think player 4 has the other opportunity to do this consistently. Players 2 and 3 are too far away. Well, I think we're going to get the triple monitor. Nice. I like to watch anyway, that's fair. Chat's part of the watchers. Who would have guessed the viewers like to watch? Alright, we're gonna go for the, I guess, good positioning again. That is a pretty consistent setup to not get hit by that boss. Okay. Just literally hold forward. Oh, that's a nice emote. Oh, escaped all my beloved. Come over here. You belong in my inventory with the others. Before you're inevitably sacrificed to something stupid. Okay, so we're first through. So I'm gonna equip Heaven Striker. We're gonna go for the freeze strat. We're gonna freeze this, and then we're gonna whip around. I unfortunately didn't crit on any of those, so I was not expecting to have to shoot more, but that's fine. We're gonna go... How did they time that? I guess they just went on the first one? That is so ridiculous. Wow, I guess if you just really blitz it, you don't even need the freeze trap. That's kind of sick. Kind of sick, Chad. I already cleared. Like, wow, okay. Now I know. Don't even do my weight setup. It's just faster to skip. I'll set a telepipe down so nobody has to go through that if they don't want to. That'll be my courtesy telepipe. Yeah, that was super fast. I think that was the fastest I've cleared that room before, but I have to be the first person in for that to work. So I put freeze trap down, but I didn't even wait for it. Or shoot it, or do anything, I just believed. I was rewarded with a fast sorcerer kill. That's kind of interesting. I mean, like, I kind of manipped them, because I went to the right first, and then juke left, but... I just did it raw based off their spawns. And spawns are sometimes inconsistent, because sometimes they just strike immediately. Nice line kill. You know what I just thought about the other day, Chow? What I should have been doing with the Faux New World when I was playing her with a little bit of solo. I mean, it's too late now. I got Crimson Code. I should have been bringing Cleo in for the ball up fight for the Raw ATP. That's not a hard rare to get compared to Crimson Code. Come on, give me a single crit, please. Thank you. I don't think I'm asking for much there. I'm just like, if my crit chance is over 20%, I'd just like to crit once in 12 shots, please. Didn't get the bullet in. Fortunate. Oh, the juke. We're gonna dodge hard left. Good dodge. I could sort of see where it was going there, but I didn't dodge fast enough. I deserve that. Oh, I got knocked down. Oh, unfortunate. I needed to not be against the arena wall, so that was the right call no matter what. I think I'm gonna dodge this way. That's fine. I did a little extra damage. This is bad. I'm gonna move away from the group. Got it there. I am slowly learning more about how to dodge that more consistently. Like, some of it was just gut feeling, go to the sides. But actually, it's kind of like a double-edged sword. Like, going to the sides will generally go away from other players, but if it is targeting you, I find going towards the center actually would be better. Same scenarios. Boss didn't strike me in the face. Okay. Wow, short cycle. Boo. Are you targeting me? You jerk. Darn right you gave me oh, you didn't give me invincibility though. Oh, then you're just straight up trolling. I feel so bad whoever's targeted. They're about to take 1,000,000 damage. Oh, the force? Good force. Okay, I'm gonna not attack. Now I'm gonna kill. Oh, baited. I'm gonna go for the kill here. But this can't knock me down, so this is the one instance where high health is super important. Alright, I can't die, so it doesn't matter. I was gonna say. It had 300 health. No way. I was just gonna sit there and regen like a boss. Be like, chat's got this. Oh, you know what? No, I don't have an elemental. I mean, I guess I could gush if I really needed healing, but... Survey says, are we gonna get our first red ring now that we got a group together? Pretty fast run. 14, 18. No red ring. Oh, speaking of which, what was the forecast for today? I didn't even look. Hunters, droids, males. That would explain the hue cast. That's fine. We don't need the super bonus. I'm gonna quickly restock my telepipes. Only having one is kind of a problem. That one lady in the shop, I think she works for Falls. She body blocks so many players. She's the real final boss, chat. We've all failed the final boss before. No shame. She's too powerful. Oh, did you see that loop around she did? She did the U-turn. She's like, I sense a player trying to walk beyond me. It's very tricky, chat. Okay. You're never a satisfied principal. Even when we get red ring, you're like, yeah, that was a B. just try harder. Okay, let's make another game. There we go. We're finally getting into the spirit of the event with several TTF runs. Then he also duped items on the GameCube, says Arkuma. Welcome, Arkuma. I'm not familiar with that. I'm not really too familiar with cheats on that system in general. Sort of inventory a little more. I'll keep my materials on me. I don't need to bank those each time. It's not like I'm actually picking up items. It's not a cheat. I mean, duping by extension is cheating. I mean, it's not a cheat. Unless it's not duping. Like, when you duplicate items, it's usually not intentional. Unless... Well, yes. That would be cheating. If you dupe items, yeah, that would be, not the way the game intended. Oh, okay. Not a cheat except for the fact that it is. High chance of it crashing your game. Well, that's the risk of cheating. So we'll wait for more that, I believe. Password's still king. I called it Ziggy TTF. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that in general though. But as I said before, I didn't try to cheat in that game. Some stuff just kind of happened. I can't be blamed for things like doorway programming. Like that's not on me. Like, I think most people have encountered the weirdness at the doors at some point. Leaf is found, lame to Argent, congrats. That's pretty silly though. I think the closest I come to duping items was on a game where it super didn't matter. You know, people with God HP++, that's new. I think it was Borderlands. That game was way too easy to duplicate items. Like, it was like brain dead easy to dupe items. Like, I was laughing at this. I'm like, did they even try to stop me from duping? I'm like, how is like a legit strategy throw items alt F4? Like, legit dupe. Like, I'm like, I didn't even do an exploit. That's just why? Why doesn't it record when you lose items? Seems like a very silly oversight. Oh, Borderlands. But save on read-only, then dump in locker. Laptop Sash was a separate storage ID. Well, it's not even that. It's more like you could literally just chuck your whole inventory and just alt F4 and it dupes. Like, there's no setup to it. It's like just kind of sad. It legit doesn't save anything. You can even take your stuff out of storage and throw it. Both things will duplicate. It's like the silliest thing ever. Like, they only save when you go to like certain points where you quit through the normal means. I guess that's what happens when you don't have like a persistent server kind of thing. But it's just very funny. You can set your character to read only. Oh, we're getting a story, I think, in the chat. A way for the story to conclude. That is kind of funny, though. I remember I played a little bit with Borderlands 1. Not to really play the game, but I was just laughing that they left their, like, INI file in read-only. Like, not in, like, encrypted or part of some other game file or repository. So you could do, like, all sorts of weird things. Has chat ever tried that before? Like, going into the graphics file for that in particular? Like, it's very interesting there were options hidden away on the PC version that aren't enabled by default. Like, why is bullet trails not something you can toggle in most of the game options for that game, but you can do it in the INI? Seems like a weird oversight. I guess they wanted it to be more like the console version or something, and that's why they removed it. But then, like, they didn't let you select that for the most part. There's some very interesting things you could do in there. I love that gravity is also in that same file. So you could just, like, you could just mess with the physics and get moon jumps. Borderlands 2 is modded anyway. I'm talking about the first one. The second one, you could just do whatever. The second one was such a mess. They didn't really fix anything. I remember playing it was like Pirate Cove or whatever, and you fight the boss of the Dark Cave. I don't know anybody that played at the time that didn't know the invisible path that led to the treasures in like the inverse pyramid area. So, like, even though the boss normally is supposed to only one-time drop it, you could just, like, clip into wherever you want to go. It's just, like, so sad how consistent it is. Like, there's whole videos online on how to do the jump. Like, there's one jump you have to do. Never beat the boss legit? I don't blame you. I don't think I even got there legit. I don't think anything in that DLC I did even remotely close to intended. Just to be real honest with you, just everything was broken. It was such a mess. First one was a hot mess. I agree. I like certain abilities in the first one, and I wasn't a real big fan of the story in the second one. There were certain characters that just made me like grit my teeth and eventually mute the voices because I did not like them at all. It wasn't a singular character, it was multiple. Oh, nice red sword. Nice. There we go. The reason we do the run. Hopefully it rolled with some hit. If not, it's still probably okay. Red sword with a... pretty much like a V501. It's like a kind of like a makeshift multi-paralysis. Yeah, what a broken game. Okay, let's see. Am I gonna win the roulette again? I won the roulette again. It's the one thing I'm lucky at, Chad. It's worm invincibility. I swear I'm like 9 in 10. I don't remember what the default odds are when you're at max IQ. I think it is like 85%, but still, very silly. Ooh, my shots are moving around. I don't want to do that, actually. Okay. A little slower, because I missed a line there. That was my bad. We still got the kill. Level up. Congratulations, Phony Roll. One of these. Run away. Hopefully don't target the nonsense behind me. I'm gonna throw the freeze trap down like right here-ish and dare him to leap at me. Got him. Wow, that is so good. I love that. I think that's gonna be my new strat. Just put the freeze trap behind me and dare him. Just walk at me and perish. I was worried that would happen. Unfortunate. Yeah, very, very, very interesting times for sure. Okay, I'm gonna do the same strat as before. Alright, put a little happy freeze trap down. We'll put 2 down, in fact. Today we have learned a new strategy. As long as they're confused, you can just walk away. Down a couple more freezes. Hopefully, they were kind of looking at me briefly. I hope that doesn't mess up their insta-death. We'll see, though. There might be a little tiny bit of nuance with it, but we'll see. The first time I did it, I think they were just barely not looking at me. Where was that other material? There it is. That's not it. Oh no, the power material was the... Oh, it's where the brands were. Never mind. Okay, so it seems like even if they start chasing me by like a lot, it still works. It's kind of interesting. On TTF. I'm watching the telepipes go down. I'm like, no faith, we're gonna party wipe. Okay, so definitely the strat is to hold a certain direction on my controller. If I do that, I'm always in the right position. Oh, what the? I didn't kill. That threw me off. I must have missed the monitor somehow. I mean, it should still kill on this one, so it doesn't matter. It's kind of weird. It didn't actually kill. Interesting. Unfortunate. Apparently, that can happen. We've now learned. Today we have learned. I guess because I was like I was off by 1 hit. Are you serious? 1 hit, chat. Brutal. Goodbye, monitor. So yeah, apparently, if I shoot too early, that can happen. Okay. Anyway, same strat as before. Embrace death. The slow-mo was very disrespectful. There we go. We still landed the slow-mo shots. That's all that matters. So I think I got enough in me for 2 more, and then we'll probably wind down. Mine material, yeah, I guess I'll pick it up. for the same strat as before. Heaven Striker, pause menu, freeze strat, pause. That time we crit, so I did it faster than before. Although now I'm not the first person in this room, so does the strategy still work? Oh, it does. Alright, we'll take the blow there, that's fine. Nothing interesting there. Oh, nobody even did the platform. Oh. Oh. Well, that's not on me. I'm gonna go back. I mean, I did it incredibly fast, but... Oh, chat summoned all of them. Okay. At least they're debuffed. It's like... I'm first in the room, so I'm always gonna go for Sorcerer. Plus, I'm the Ranger. I don't normally come up here. It's fine. We'll just pause menu and believe in the AI manip. Oh, I got stuck on something. We're good now. Not a clean manip, but we still got through. On red ring. Oof. Poor ranger friend. Cat does not love you. Is the cat's IQ maxed out of curiosity? I'm just curious. I feel like it's been skipping you a lot. Cat should be showering you with invincibility love, but it appears to not be. Shot kill, so useful. Oh, I thought that was the last one. I miscounted. I was off by one, chat. Usually it's one after you kill, I think it's the third wave or so. But maybe one was missed in the previous wave. Man, no crits? Oh, there we go. I was gonna say, I would like to not die to the boss due to lack of crits, please. There we go. Did another about 1,000 damage. Oh, the juke. Oh, good pattern. I got targeted. Okay, we're gonna dodge sideways no matter what, because nobody's over here. It's a free dodge. This one's a little less clear. I might just dodge backwards. Yeah, that was a good call. Super clean, super good judgment on dodging those, chat. How dare you steal my health? Bad boss. Also, dead teammate. Rip teammate. Oh no, we won't have Zalor. I kind of want Zalor. Where's the teammate relative to me? Are they on my right? Yeah, they're on my right. I'm gonna revive. Zalor is too important. Oh, slapped. There we go. Full screen, brutal. Oh, another chance. Nice, Bowie damage. Okay. It's looking at worse. Oh, invincible in the last shot. Brutal. By only a little bit. Rest in peace. I'm not gonna attack, but I'm gonna get a little closer. Wow, that was the short cycle too. That was actually the worst luck. I'll take the bullet there, that's fine. Like, can we not get short cycle? Yeah, get out of here. Stupid boss. Get killed by normal power special. I sold that 1800 damage. You're not gonna soul link one of us again. Get out of here. Okay, one more, chat. Definitely the last one. I got stuff I gotta do tomorrow, unfortunately, super early. No red ring. I'll take the boss's pity Meseta, I guess. Time to leave. Got enough healing for another one without needing to shop. This should be fine. A rank. Here we go. Take my money, leave. And final one. There we go. I was thinking about putting it on Anguish for a second. I'm like, nah, let's not do that. If everybody was like 180, I would have been like, Anguish 1, we're not doing regular CTM. This character probably do Anguish without an issue. Set damage, though, would be very silly for certain players. Let's not have falls hit for like 1100 or some dumbness. Regular die fluid in our inventory. I got 7 full heals plus 10 stars. That should be good. Wait for the others. Presumably they're just restocking. You know what I'm questioning, chat, now that I'm looking in this counter as we're waiting for people? How does she get into the room that she's in? There's like no... It's like no part that looks like it would open up. Like there's no partitions. It's just built into the wall. She never leaves. Is that what happened? Did they build it around her? It's like, this is your home now. Like, I think so. You gotta question life whenever you're looking at the character sometimes. Just question everything. Yeah, wait a little bit so I don't zoom too far. There we go. There we go. Got my shifter and I'm out of there. Sorry, I had a sound issue. No worries. I was gonna say, we're cleaning up pretty good. We're not seeing, like, tomfoolery. Damage is fine. Okay with this. You need a couple seconds to fix something, by all means. Yeah, it's not like you're walking up to Hildebear and trying to like Bowie it as the Ramar or something, so I think you're doing fine. Although, to be fair, as much as I'm making fun of that, I did see the power of the Ramar the other day. I don't know if people caught that. I watched like maybe mid-level Ramar actually do the Gazan loop on Vault Op. I was like, I'm actually impressed. Get that damage. Let's heal up a little bit. I'm gonna wait for the boxes. Always worth it. I'll have to get Gray a Cannon Rouge at some point. Another Scape Doll? Okay. Watch out, it's gonna join a whole family in my inventory. I refuse to die. Okay, I'll be the one that triggers this since I was first in. Don't need to do anything to fix my mags, I think I'm good there. Control that slime real quick. Nice insta-kill on the slime. I guess we did figure out the secret. It just has to deal with how far it is from the spawn point, whether it insta-kills. Oh, chat left that Lily alive. Scary. Nice. Clean up. And I got the freeze. That was so sick. GG. Outplayed, chat. I got so excited, and then it's just a Gale Bog. I feel so ripped off. I was like, wait, was it delayed Red Sword? No. Just delayed disappointment. It's fine. We'll ignore it. It just feels so cruel that I'm just waiting here to execute the poor Booma equivalency. Like, it just has no chance. It doesn't even get the ability to turn around, even with its, like, inside-out face. See, like, it still didn't reach me. Fine, I'll pick up this item just to junk it, and we'll telepipe out. You happy, game? Invincibility again, nice. Winning that roulette today, chat, I'm telling you. Keeping that IQ and synchro high, so useful. I mean, it's rewarding me with like constant triggers. Again, I don't know if it's 25% or 35%. I'll check after the stream. I'll try to remember to talk about it next time. I'll probably forget. But I do know it influences, I think based off of IQ, every set of 40 improves it by 5%, I think. So don't neglect your mags, essentially. Mags are so important. My guild chicks. Okay, we're gonna do the cool strat where I just like pop it and walk forward. He almost got to leap at me. He might have struck me before he got frozen, maybe. I did do that trap a little bit late. Kind of all ours, says Travis. Something like that. The damage though. we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna do it and then walk away. As long as I hear that sound effect, I don't have to look at them. I think that'll be my good cue. I can focus on getting back in the room faster. B101. Where? Oh, give me. Okay, there we go. Wow. I think that's the first one in over a year that's dropped. Like, I got a few of them, but I don't have like a ton of them. Nice. Marco was like, oh, MFG. Yeah, nice. Lucky? Is it really lucky? I mean, like, I did so many runs. I feel like statistically, it was like overdue. Lucky would be like when TheCalvitium, for doing the first ever Excalibur run he's ever done before, by the way. He got a 20-hit Excalibur. His literal first attempt, 20 hit. I'm like, what? Are you serious? You know, it's fine. We could be happy for him. Oh man. He's still on his way to unlocking it. He was using it earlier in the stream. Statistically, you should have 3. I feel that way too, Travis. We owe you some red ranks. Whoa, I'm like way too close to the monitor? That's fine. There we go. Come on, red rank. I mean, the V101 I'm pretty happy with. I didn't really get any of the other rares I was going for, despite being with people earlier. But I got photon crystals for other people that joined us, so that's good enough, I guess. Also, I walked slightly off center. I think I'm gonna take damage here. Or it won't target me at all. Never mind, ignore me. I mean, if it doesn't even want to aim vaguely near my character, that's on the game. Pie grinder, I'm leaving that behind. Rest in peace. Ooh, the 50-50 with the material. The 50 defense material. One of the mine material. I do the same strat as before. Freeze into... See, that's so well timed because my first normal shot doesn't need... I'm not gonna go back for that mine material, it's not worth it for me. That first one that I go for is kind of sick because I don't need the accuracy boost from it. Oh, I wasn't close enough. I should have walked closer. That's fine, I could course correct here. Forever, it just spawned. There we go. Game fleas. Thank you. What the heck was that? it like auto-corrected twice in a row. That's unlucky. The wrong one. Rip. Well, I guess I'll use one of my monomates. Otherwise I'll never use these things. So long, mine material. Oh no, dead ranger. Oh no. Okay. Mon clean falls pattern. I'm gonna double check the rare rate on it, because you fight like, what, 12 of those every run? I'm just curious, like, out of 100, what would the odds be? I feel like that should statistically match the odd. Unless it's more than 1,000. If it's like 2,000, then yeah, I guess. Double check though. I know like Zoo is like 1280 episode 4, for example. That doesn't mean it's using the same thing for episode 1. It could be lower. I'm now just curious from a statistics standpoint. So I think it's safe to say I've done over 100 runs without seeing one. I think that's a pretty safe estimate. Given I often do like 6 on a stream, And just this past couple of months has probably been about 35, let alone all of last year. Ooh, I'm not in a good spot. Oh, do we need to get a Heaven Striker for Gray? I think we do. I think it looks like Charge Laser. Try to find one. Ooh, big damage. Okay, we're gonna Tri-Mate and walk sideways. Not far enough. It's fine. So close. Oh, how did that not reach? I'm gonna go in the middle so that I don't get double hit is what I was about to say there. I got double hit though. That ice ricochet is kind of nonsense sometimes. It actually went around because everybody was at the edge already, back into the edge again. Instead of bouncing off the far wall like I've seen it do a couple times. One more cycle would have been beautiful. Yeah, it did seem decent damage there. How did that not kill? There we go. Ponyworld getting revenge. Like, you kill me, I kill you. Checkmate. Gotcha, Falls. Never saw it coming. Okay. The final run of the night. Does anybody get a red ring? I got a Monomate. Unfortunate. Die fluid ring, nice. 25 hit Gladius? I don't think so. There we go. Just a little V101 for the trip home. I don't think who even needs this at this point. Like, honestly speaking, I don't have that many melee characters. I'm using one on my Phonuman. I'm using one on my Ramarl. The Rockaseel's using one. Or another... Did I put this on my Ramar first? I mean, if I put it on my Humar, it just won't do anything. I guess if I switch over to Rockcast soon, take advantage of it. I should probably make him Viridian, as I said before. Then he'd get more use. Because he's at the point he can't easily do mines anymore anyway. Which was like the whole mentality behind Yellow ID. I don't need Humar, so I have to play. And then I would just be like, wow, if only I had another V101. Yeah, like honestly, I don't need it on most of my forces, because I'm not meleeing with them. So I really don't need it aside for the ones that are like 180 plus. Like, I guess my Fomarl? Does my Fomarl have one? I actually don't remember. I know my Phonuman does, for sure. That'll be fun. But thank you everybody for hanging out. I'll try to do one more stream on Friday, I think. If I'm not completely exhausted. Just to try to get more rare ups for the party / in general. Let's chat. So how do we think things went? Well, no red ring, unfortunately, for people on stream. But V101 and Photon Crystals for the Nuke player, as well as Calvitium. So slowly but surely, getting there. So from the standpoint of additional runs on Friday, if people are around, I'll just TTF immediately. It'll probably start at the same time, like I'm thinking 7:30 or 8. I'm probably gonna need to sleep after work, and then I'll go back into it full blown. So we'll see what happens there. But from the standpoint of progress today, most of my forces did level. My Rocket Seal's getting closer to leveling. I didn't look at her stats and show them off explicitly during the run, but she is now max material, so I don't need to think about that again. If she levels, I think, 10 more times, she'll be done. I don't have to think about her at all. If she gets Red Ring, then she'll be fine in 8 levels. She'll have everything she needs max, then I can free up the slot. Then I can finally start running with V501. I've been waiting to do forever with this character. That way I can actually get the paralysis chances. And maybe at that point, I will consider doing, like, crazy runs with the group. I'll pity you and do some, like, nonsense in episode 2. But I'd just like to thank everybody for joining in today. But we're at the point of the video I'm sure many of you are now aware of. And that is the send-off / the goodbye to YouTube. If you've been watching to this point in the video or the VOD, I'd just like to thank you for watching. Hope to see you again next time.